You're listening to littlepodcast.com.
I'm sure there's a 3 in my social security number somewhere. I am sex working myself. Let's see.
You're talking about your bussy, right?
Bussy.
Hell yeah, I love a pinball
Yep.
with a bullet.
When you're going south, it's like driving downhill.
It's faster, yeah.
You don't want to
This is
fuck
the-
with fairies. They'll
this
fuck
is
you
a-
up.
Welcome to Born in the 80s, episode 402. I'm your host, as always, John Danger, joined by my co-host.
John, thank you for welcoming me. My name is Matt, and I am a podcast host.
Yeah. I'm TJ Sunburnt Forehead May. And we got this guy.
Skinny penis works at cyberspace.info.
I can't figure out how to get...
Have you all been enjoying lots of your woolly mammoth social media apps?
Yeah, mammogram or whatever it's called.
Mammothgram.
Yeah,
I know,
mammogram.
I've
That's
been
what it's called.
checking it all day.
I actually have been checking mine, but you know that I check mine.
I haven't been. Let's see what I got. Yeah.
I forgot to follow people on it, so I don't think so.
You didn't follow me?
Oh my god.
I still don't know how.
Okay, what's your name?
No, stop. We're recording a podcast. Let's not get into this. This is extremely boring.
Okay,
We
fine.
argued about it in the last episode. It'll probably be like 30 minutes of us arguing about it.
Just cut that all out.
Well, it'll be in the post-show part.
Oh, it's fine. So Pokemon Go Fest, right? Yeah?
No,
one,
okay,
no one cares.
Yeah, Pokemons.
Who the fuck
no.
cares about a video game I have to get out of my house and die of coronavirus to play? Fuck that.
I wore a mask while I walked.
I want to talk about, TJ, this is something you tanted a while ago, and then you never talked about it last week, but you were talking about like scams while you're like looking for a job.
Oh, fucking right. I forgot about that. Let's see if I can find these emails. Once because
But TJ's
we can vamp a little
emails.
We can vamp a little bit. So TJ,
But them emails.
But his emails.
But his pussy.
But his bussy.
We can talk about my
Dude, what
bussy.
if there was a word that combined butt and pussy? That'd be pretty...
Like a butt
Yeah.
pussy?
Like a
like a bassy.
putt? Yeah, a putt.
A putty?
Putt.
A silly buddy. A silly buddy.
A fuddy buddy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, a nutter butter.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
Go look Urban
wanted-
Dictionary.
I wanted to... Never mind. I'm not going to say it. Nutter butter. I'll eat your ass. That's what...
Nutter butter, I hardly know her.
That's what
I'll
you
eat
say.
your ass.
That's what you say to the pig before you make bacon.
Yeah.
Next time I go to the grocery store in 2023, I'm going to go to the snack aisle. I'm going to just scream, Nutter butter, I hardly know her.
It's very optimistic that you think that we'll be back to normal in 2023.
I have a question. You guys know little daddy...
Little daddies?
Start over. You guys
Little
know
Debbie.
Do you know Little Debbie Nutty Bars?
Yep.
Yeah.
They're the best.
Yeah.
They're great. Do you remember, or is this a figment of my fucking alcohol-addled brain? Like a nutty... It wasn't a nutty bar. I don't even think it was Little Debbie, but it was shaped like a nutty bar. So, like, that shape. And it was that same kind of chocolate on top, but there was no wafer in the middle. It was some kind of, like, soft cake. So it was like a... Gosh, I can't even think of what it would be. But it was basically like that shape,
Like a zebra
but
cake.
it was soft.
Yeah.
I think zebra cakes are Little Debbie, but yes.
But like
zebra
that
cake
kind of thing,
is
but just in the
correct
narrower.
texture.
Yeah.
Yes. Is that a real thing, or did my fucking years of alcohol abuse just putting that in my...
Are you talking about basically the Little Debbie version of like a ladyfinger?
Zebra cake? That's what British people would say. There's a zebra cake.
Zebra.
I'm a
would be
British man.
actually,
Fucking finally,
it's
the heart is dropping. I
it
can
would
log
be
out of World of Warcraft.
a zebra cake because they say that's not a funny joke.
So TJ, you said you were looking for jobs. And this is like, I love that it's like nothing is free from internet scams now, because like I get emails all the time from like recruiters and stuff. And I just imagine like probably 50% of them are just people trying to get like my information to sell.
For recruiters, I don't think so, because recruiters get paid by the number of jobs they fill. So I get that.
Well, these people say that they're recruiters. They may not actually be recruiters.
True. So I'm going to start with my first experience in the world of employment scams. So I had applied. I've been using Indeed for the most part, which has been a problem lately. Indeed has been full with a lot of bullshit. Not even just scams, just a lot of bullshit. So I applied to one that I was probably in a haze when I applied to it. It was a data entry clerk at Holiday Inn. And the reason why I was in a haze is red flags didn't pop up in my head until I applied, and about 20 minutes later, I got a response via the Indeed mail. Basically, it's a way for Indeed to hide your email address from employers, and then you can use their messaging system or even respond to the emails that are coming to your email, but they do hide your email address. And I got an email that said, "Dear TJ," for some reason TJ was in bold. I don't know why. "Dear TJ, you passed the first pre-selection stage. Congratulations. You need to send a message to our HR manager, HR not capitalized."
Wait, so you've been selected before the selection occurs?
Well, I passed the first pre-selection stage.
So you were selected in the pre-selection.
So
Yes.
this is like a Capital One card?
Basically, yeah. So you need to send a message to our lowercase HR manager. The email address I'm comfortable saying here on the podcast, which is angel_Ruth@AOL.com.
Oh, good.
For further correspondence and the next onboarding stage. Provide your current phone number and CV, optional if your Indeed CV is not up to date, which is backwards. Optional if your Indeed CV is up to date, I guess would.
If your Indeed one is from 15 years ago, that's fine.
Yeah.
We don't need a new one as long as your Indeed one is old.
With best regards, best being capitalized, comma, Holiday Inn, and Holiday Inn is bolded. Now, even at this point, because this is still about a month ago, I was still probably in a haze, because I went ahead and responded to, I did a reply all and then changed the two email address.
That podcast.
But I changed the two email address to that email address.
Okay.
And all I said was, my current phone number is this. Yeah. So I sent an email from my personal email, not using the Indeed messaging system because I didn't reply to sender. And I sent my actual phone number. And because I fortunately didn't reply to sender. Fortunately for me, a couple seconds later, I got a failed to send notification. Undeliverable to this. And not, I think 2 minutes later, I get another message on the Indeed site, exactly the same copy-paste formatted, but the Angel Ruth at AOL had like a number in it, like Angel Ruth 89 at AOL.com. So I don't know if it was just whatever, and I really didn't feel the need to, I really didn't need to respond. Mm-hmm. But I felt like responding on the Indeed site, so I went ahead and did that. And I still have it. So I told them 8 minutes after they sent that second email, please disregard my application. You have shown me a lack of care in providing a correct email address in these two conflicting messages. The fact that the AR manager is not given access to a company-sponsored email address, as well as an extremely vague and too good to be true job listing. I think that posted something like $15 to $20 per hour for a data entry clerk.
Yeah. That's not
there,
that too good to be true if you're in this area.
Yeah. I don't think it was. Actually, it might have been $20 to $25 an hour.
Okay.
It was
like
something ridiculous.
an hour isn't crazy. If you require a college degree as a starting.
So I finished up saying, there have been enough red flags sent to me to be able to start my own country. I appreciate your time, but I will be wasting no more of it. Thanks, but no thanks. So yeah,
and
that
then
was
you gave them your social security number.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm going to give that on the podcast. I'm sure there's a 3 in my social security number somewhere. So,
well, I don't know if there is, but it could be.
Yeah.
I don't remember if mine has one or not because I choose not to memorize it in case I'm captured.
Mine's 4.
It's 4?
Yeah. I got one of the early ones.
I'm trying to see
what number?
Else. I've been getting a lot of the fake PayPal, your account's been limited things, which has been great.
Oh my God.
I can't find another one of these things because I think most of them have been getting, like, I see them and then they got hit by my spam. So, other than one I got this morning, but not from a place I applied to, which is just, it was just an email sent from Nancy@jobsandtalents.org, and the email just says, "Our valued client requires the candidate for an available opening. Please reply for the job details." Like, that's great.
Yeah, I think
cool.
like I get a lot of those too, and I think it's just really easy to make a bot that like scrapes user profiles on job sites. Like I don't think it's Indeed like selling the information. I think you could just like get the information easily from it. That's what it seemed like to me anyway.
Yeah.
Oh! Here's another one. That I only got the Indeed thing, and I just didn't even bother responding. I applied to a call center representative / customer service. The company was called Healthcare Support, and location. See, even if you work remotely, they'll usually have an actual locale. Like in Los Angeles, California, and Austin, Texas, and Madison, Wisconsin, and this locale is Michigan. And
Michigan.
Indeed has a crap ton of listings lately that just say like location United States or location Michigan, and they're all bullshit, every single one of them. So I ended up applying to them, and I got this response: "Thank you for your interest in healthcare support." Okay, you just put the company in there. Okay, whatever. I will like to notify you that you have an outstanding profile on Indeed. Period, but then no space. Healthcare Support is seeking for a call center representative. Period, and no space. The pay is $500 pay week. Period.
Good job.
10 to 20 hours are required weekly. Space, period, then no space. The timing for this position is flexible. We have recommended you for this position. If you are interested in this position, kindly send your resume to the email of HR manager, only the H capitalized, of healthcare support below. And what is it? It's just someone's name at gmail.com. Andrew Clausen, but Andrew is spelled with 2 R's.
Why do they not even take the effort to have a domain with email addresses?
Exactly. But yeah, Andrew Clausen.
It's very difficult for any. Basically, a domain is really easy to say. That entire domain is bullshit. Every email from that domain is bullshit. And spam filters pick up on that shit real quick. If it's at gmail.com, it has to assume that it's a real email address, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Andrew spelled with 2 R's here, but then he writes his name underneath with only 1 R in the Andrew. And that he is the HR manager, again, only the H capitalized.
He was too slow to get his
Maybe
email
he's
account.
the hour manager.
Well, let me go ahead. If I do a local search here for Stevenson, Michigan, where I'm currently residing, I could...
Docs.
Yeah, exactly.
You just got doxed.
if you want to really dox me, you can see which gym has one of my Pokemon here. But there's just so many of these positions that may or may not be legitimate. That just like here, customer service representative, work from home, USA. The location is, what was it? Location is Michigan, not an actual locale in Michigan. It says remote, but again, most remote jobs that are legitimate will actually say like Detroit, Michigan, but then in the description will say work from anywhere or must be in this area. Join our TTEC work from home customer service representative team if you reside 45 out of 50 states. If you reside 45, okay, whatever. We cannot accept applications for residents of California, Colorado, Hawaii, Illinois, or New York, or outside of the United States. We are online and looking to connect with you to help us deliver exceptional customer service experiences as then no space after the A, and then everything bold, work from home customer service representative.
They're just like taking a script and throwing in random variables, basically.
Yes. Like the company says TTEC, but then they want me to go to workbooth.info/applicant/workbooth requirements to make sure I have the technical requirements for their software. In this case, I think it's a scam where they will get you like, you've passed the hiring, now you have to purchase the software. No actual work from home place will have you purchase their software. So if you are looking for jobs right now, and someone tells you need to buy their software in order to work from home, it's a scam. They're going to take your $250 and then never call you back. Yeah. I never actually went to this website, but apparently the
only
website
places where you actually have to pay to work is when you work at like a McDonald's and they make you pay for your uniform out of your paycheck.
Weirdly enough, their actual website seems halfway legitimate.
TJ, you missed out on an opportunity.
No, it's a recent one, so I still could, but
well, you're slagging them off on a podcast.
Basically, I might as well be.
Find this, they're gonna fire you.
Fuck that company. Fuck those guys.
Yeah, whatever they're called, work home guy.
TTEC.
Okay.
TTEC.
So
yeah.
Cool. You know what? TJ, all jobs are illegitimate anyways. Capitalism is an illegitimate system, and I don't believe it in anymore because I get free government money. I'm going to become a welfare
Hey, if
queen.
your job is to move a ball around somewhere, then I don't want to fucking hear your politics.
I think that you should just put the ball down and stick to sports, TJ. Stick to video games.
Okay, that's fine. I am basically, and I use this in the most flattering way possible. I am prostituting myself out on Twitch, as you saw today.
You are sex working yourself.
I am sex working myself to be. I'm renting myself as an internet dad.
That's true. I got an affirmation today.
Yes, you did.
You owe me one too.
Yes, I do owe you one, and Matt, I owe a bunch or a couple of.
Yeah, I'm saving up for an internet daddy.
So,
that's right. I did tell you that would be $10.
Can you explain what you do on your Twitch channel?
Sure. Matt, can you focus on me for a second? And I'll go ahead and talk to our podcast listeners.
I'll give the listeners a free one.
Yeah, I'll give them this one for free. Hello, children. This is your father.
Hi, Dad.
I just want to tell you. Hi, son. Yeah, I'm busy here, son. Let me talk to everybody.
Dad,
I'll come back to you.
Nintendo?
We'll discuss this later, son.
Dad, I went poop in my pants.
Mom says it's okay. Don't ask her, though.
I didn't think we'd go this far into the role play.
Dad, I
have to go get my diapers. He'll take this thing all the way.
Yeah, ABDL for life.
So, You've been doing a good job lately. I know things have been tough, but I'm proud of you, children. Really am. And I'm going to support you no matter what. And that's the kind of crap that I'm basically selling for 50 cents on my Twitch channel.
Yeah, you get a personal, or not a personalized,
you get
generic.
That generic.
Personalized if you spend $1.
$1.50.
$1.50. Okay.
Yeah.
I will say it was weird because I was taking a nap and I had TJ on my phone plugged in, and so I was laying in bed, and TJ in my ears says, "Son, John, I'm so proud of you." And I'm like laying in bed, and I'm like, "Oh, this is weird," but
You need to
I
get
gave him 50 cents.
You need to get like the music from like the end of an episode of Full House where
Yeah.
he's talking and then they're talking about the lesson
That's
they
true,
learned.
TJ. You definitely need to have that music playing.
Oh, that would be great.
It's like breaking it down. Like I don't know if there's a good one. I'm a connoisseur of sitcoms, so maybe I can find you a good one.
One of the other listeners or one of the other viewers that was on at the time, like went ahead and put like kind of like an awe sad face. But it's someone that followed me because I was playing stupid Kingdom Hearts games. It's fine.
Yay, stupid Kingdom Hearts games.
I'll get back to that. I'll get back to my stupid Kingdom Heartses. But yeah, so Kingdom's Hearts.
Kingdom's Hearts. So that's a sad state of affairs when you're trying to find a job and basically you have to sift through scammers. It's like that's everything in society now. Like buying stuff on Amazon, like anything online, you basically have to sift through scams just to get.
It's so easy to set up like a script that does something like that, and companies don't really have a ton of incentive to defend against it.
But
because
go ahead.
It's just bullshit, like people don't care enough to defend against it. So,
but I'm probably going to be streaming hard in the next 5 days because I want to break.
Whoa, we don't need to know. Like,
it's fine. You're working up to your daddy.
Yeah.
You're gonna make sure you're streaming hard.
Because if I break that $100 revenue, I guess $100 to me revenue. By the end of the month, I'll get that payment probably by August 15th. So,
do you want to say how close, where you are at now?
Yeah, I need $30.
Okay.
So wait, I have a question.
Wow,
so
you're already at like 70.
So get a payout from Twitch. You have to earn $100.
Yeah, you have to have at least $100 banked.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Because I think YouTube is something like 20.
And on Twitch, like your Twitch Prime subs or even just a regular $5 sub, Twitch takes half of that if you're an affiliate.
Yeah.
So I only get $250 of that. Bits, you basically have already paid what I'd call the commission or the VIG.
Yeah. So bits, 500 bits is like $8 or something like that.
You pay like a 40% upcharge.
Yeah.
On that. Don't buy bits via the app through the Apple Store or through the Google Play, because then the Apple Store or Google Play stores will actually take another cut. So you actually do pay more per bits on those stores than directly through Twitch. Now, separate from that,
everybody's got to get a taste.
Exactly.
On the way through. So, because God forbid the creator actually gets paid. Yeah, it's just like streaming music.
They do eventually. They get a fraction of a penny per stream.
Yeah. I also have, I think, 23 cents because of ads. I think people have clicked ads on my thing accidentally.
Oh, wow.
Because I've got... but separate from all of that, weirdly enough, in my Twitch description, I'd set up the original way I could get paid pre-affiliate, which is because I've got all like the Streamlab alerts, I set them up for payment processing as well. You click the donation down there, that's directly to Streamlabs. That just goes right to my PayPal.
Nice.
So TJ, I looked, and over like the total lifetime of my channel, I've earned $34.34. So that is
your revenue.
If you pay me $70, then I can get a withdrawal, and then from that withdrawal, I can give you $30, and then you can get your money. I think that's a good deal.
Oh,
I'm losing money on the deal.
That's true.
Let me pull up my spreadsheet because I'm not sure if the math works there.
No thinking, just feeling.
It's our future is just a nightmare, and that reminds me of I don't know if you guys watched like the.
I can't wait
Ubisoft
until the
conference
census
about
comes out and
Xbox.
like 60% of the U.S. economy is OnlyFans.
No, but there was
I would.
there was the Ubisoft conference, and they had that game. It's called like Hyperscape or something. That like new battle royale game that they're trying to put out. It's called like Hyperscape. But like the video was like here's the background of the game, and it said when everything started to go wrong, and like it cut back and it was 2023. I was like, Jesus, guys,
A little bit too late.
that's not good. No, but I mean, it's not even a little too late. It's just like, oh, so you think the world's going to end in 2 years in your future game?
Obviously,
Like,
yeah.
it's like, Jesus, that doesn't make me feel
It's
very
like-
good. But they were like dystopia, like back in like the 80s when they did like far off dystopia future. They're like, oh, 2021 will be crazier. It's like 40 years in the future. Now it's just like 3 years in the future, it's going to be a nightmare.
Terminator came out in 1984, and I think that it was Judgment Day was like 1999 or something.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
That's at least 15 years, not 3 years. Anyway,
Do you guys know the plot of Ubisoft's Tom Clancy's The Division?
yeah, it's the dollar flu.
It's
Yeah.
it's the Wuhan flu.
Yeah.
But yeah, it spreads on the dollar bill, which
Oh,
I wouldn't
really?
be surprised if this does. Yep.
Oh
Yeah.
man, especially some of those dollars. Look,
Yeah.
there's a lot of tipping singles at the burlesque shows, and man, some of those dollars.
I still want one.
Well, I make sure to lick every dollar bill before I spend it.
I
That's the only
don't.
way to know it's real.
I don't want to say when things go back to normal because I don't trust we'll have
They'll
the
never go
same
back to
normal
normal.
at that point. But if world gets to the point where burlesque shows can become a thing in a safe respect, I still want to see Mercury's show.
Yeah, so that might be more possible coming up. Nothing's like official yet, but we've been talking about like
Digital
starting
shows.
up like a pre-recorded show. Yeah, like they tried digital shows that were like a complete format change, and it was a little weird. But
Okay.
we're talking about just like recording a stage show now, and like recording it Sunday afternoon and releasing
when
it
no
on
one's
Friday or
there.
something. Yeah, because like the Five nightclub where we used to have that, they're not using their interior for anything. They have
of course.
like patio service, and that's it.
They're doing. Are they like Chuck E. Cheese's doing like takeout? Do you see that?
Oh man.
The picture of that Chuck E. Cheese that had like a big spray painted sign that said "Call for wings and pizza."
Does it come with like a bunch of families getting in fistfights?
Oh my god! I don't know.
Now,
Aren't they over? Is Chuck E.
Chuck
Cheese
E.
has got to be
Cheese.
like bankrupt?
no,
Chuck
not
E.
yet. I don't
Cheese-
think.
Not only is like the food the least good part about it, the food is the least good food you could possibly serve. I remember going there as a kid, and I ate everything. Even
Same,
as a kid,
same.
I eat everything. I remember as a kid getting to slice that pizza and taking a bite and be like, "There's no flavor.
Yeah.
There's texture, but there's no flavor to this. How did they do that?
Yeah.
I can see ingredients on the pizza."
Dude, I gotta set
flavors.
I gotta set an alert for like Chuck E. Cheese bankruptcy, because if that does happen, I'm gonna try and buy some animatronics. I'm gonna make some rad
I mean,
robots.
they've already started phasing those out.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's only about one animatronic per show, like per place, and then everything else is just on the monitors.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
Then what's the novelty of going there rather than just like watching YouTube or something?
Yeah, I mean, I could just take my kids to fucking Pizza Hut and give them a tablet so they can watch Chuck E. Cheese on YouTube.
I just
Yeah.
want
Well-
them. I want somebody to make a horror themed Five Nights at Freddy's restaurant. You know, just
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Okay, guys.
aimed at like
Sorry.
adults. It's kind of an escape room kind of thing.
So the other thing they've tried to do is they've like rebranded their food as Pasquale's Pizza and Wings.
Oh,
And it
yeah.
will- and it will show up on like DoorDash or Postmates, Grubhub, and Uber Eats as like that without really any idea that it's coming from a Chuck E. Cheese, basically.
Well, Pasquale is the name of their
Yeah,
fake chef. Yeah.
The COVID-19 pandemic has been financially damaging to the parent company. And with an estimated $1 to $2 billion in debt already, the possibility exists of all CEC properties being forced to close if bankruptcy refinancing fails. CEC Entertainment solicited $200 million in loans to finance a restructuring under bankruptcy. So they've already filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
I hate that they threw the E in their acronym. The E stands for E.
No, the E stands for entertainment. His name is Charles Entertainment Cheese.
Is it? Oh,
yes.
You didn't 100%. Know that?
No.
And his name is Charles Entertainment Cheese Entertainment Incorporated.
Charles Hussein Cheese. A lot of people remember
Hussein, that's the important part.
Yeah. A lot of people
look,
it's
his name.
Really
I'm just saying his name. Charles Hussein Cheese.
So, like, this is something that, like, I've been getting into during the pandemic, and it's something I've always been into, but, like, watching training videos. And on YouTube, there's a lot of Chuck E. Cheese training videos that you can watch that people have, like, stolen and uploaded.
Dude, you can watch the whole Rockfire Explosion documentary on YouTube too, which is awesome. It's just all about people that collect and repair the original like Showbiz Pizza animatronics.
I remember Showbiz Pizza.
All those people are having real weird lives, but God bless them.
Yeah. No, so at a typical Chuck E. Cheese, because I am a parent and I've had to bring my childs to those places. So they will have a single Chuck E. Cheese animatronic behind like a cylinder plexiglass thing that they'll sometimes they'll cover with a curtain when like the person in a costume Chuck E. Cheese is out and about, or when they have the music videos on that have Chuck E. Cheese in there. There is still a stage, but there's basically nothing on the stage. But they will like show for the music videos. They will sometimes show like full screen projector up there to emulate like they still have the animatronics, but a lot of times those music videos are just people in costumes as opposed to animatronics. And then they have switched in the past, depending on the restaurant, in the past 2 to 4 years from the token model to the scan card model of like Dave & Buster's of how the machines work.
So
you don't
we
put
can
the coins
train
in.
Children to use credit cards. Apparently, they redesigned Chuck E. Cheese at some point. It looks terrible.
His animated version is that kind, but his animatronic and his costume is still the same. It always has been, because who's going to buy new ones?
So my favorite part about the Rockfire Explosion now is the people that have repurposed them to play pop music now. And, and they're amazing. I just posted one to the Discord.
I wonder if
Rockfire Explosion playing Black Eyed Peas, I've Got a Feeling. I
wonder if they still have to program it the old way, or if somebody's found a hack to like put an Arduino in there or something.
But here is, if you guys want to watch Neighborhood #1 Tunnels by the Arcade Fire, played by the Rockfire Explosion from 2008. The guy did this. You can certainly find it on this channel.
I want to see just like screaming death metal coming out of Chuck E. Cheese.
This is just insane. This is a fucking Arcade Fire played by a fucking gorilla on a goddamn keyboard. Oh, it's so good. God. How did I not know about this, like, more? Like, I knew about the one. I think there's someone had, like, I forget what rap song it was, playing, like, Get Low or something they were playing. And, like, that was really good. But, like, oh, my God, dude. Fucking, that's what I needed right now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just, the world is a nightmare, but what I got was the Arcade Fire being played by a bunch of animatronic robots. And that's what you need to do, Matt, is that you need to get one of these sets.
Yeah, I need to start working on the drum bot again. I quit when
hips don't lie.
When it got to like programming, I was like, fuck, I don't want to do that. But yeah, I can do it. Sorry. I will do it.
I was reading the at accidental_left Twitter, because that's what I do. to make myself feel better about the world. And I heard programming, so I snapped back into reality.
I see. Well, all I know is that is my future dream. That's like my dream. Like when you talk about like if you won like the $500 million lottery, I would say that like I would buy a house and that probably there would be a 2,000 square foot arcade that I would build that would be like a full on like redemption arcade, with like skee ball and good arcade games too, like a mixture. Like I'd want my own personal like Chuck E. Cheese's basically in my house.
So Initial D's got to be in there.
Initial D, the racing car game?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. I mean, I know what the anime is, but I didn't know that there was an arcade game that was that popular.
Yes, they've made an arcade game, a couple different versions that let you save your progress to a driver's card that you get to use on it. And then at GameWorks, just outside Chicago, they have the Initial D software, but put into one of those. I don't want to say augmented reality, but it's the put into suspension actual racing rigs that will actually tilt and turn with you to give you the feel of your car actually, you're getting some G's as you're turning around the hairpin turns.
Dude, I always get some G's as I'm turning around, if you know what I mean.
Bussy.
Bussy.
You're talking about your bussy, right?
Bussy. my bussy.
Boneless.
Which apparently when I say bussy, when I say bussy, it's bassy as far as
that's true
is concerned.
Wait, do you have Twitch subtitles on? Is that what's going on?
No, that was
the transcription thing.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. That's right. Oh, that's right. No, it said Bussy once though.
Bassy.
Yeah.
Bassy.
But it did say Bassy that other time.
Carol Bassy.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, you guys remember
What's up,
Tiger
all
King?
you little cats and buttsies?
You can get a message from Carol on Cameo, and she'll do ads and stuff too. We should do one for the podcast. Hey, you cool
What's
cats
up, all,
and kittens.
what's up, all you cool butts and pussies? It's Carol Bussy here.
Carol Baskin.
Carol
Basket.
I have fallen so deep into the Rockafire explosion fucking.
Have you seen that documentary?
I haven't. I need to see this.
It's so
now.
good.
On
it's
Netflix?
just like no, it's on. I think the whole thing's on YouTube for free.
I think the guy who runs this posted saying it was available for free, so it's probably just on here somewhere.
Mm-hmm. It's fucking wild. It's like, and it's like, it's quite a few years old. Like I think it was maybe from the early 2000s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it says the documentary is just here, an hour and 11 minutes. Okay, got that on the old to be watched list.
It will awesome. Make you a little sad, probably.
I'm gonna post that on the Discord on the how can you get to our Discord now? Isn't it a lot easier?
It's Discord in the chat, and it's discord.com/borninthE80s.net.
Wait, what? No, discord.borninthE80s.net.
There it is. That's the one.
www. Not easy enough for Matt.
Born in the.
Go to www.
Go to HemsworthFeet.world/live, and then go into the chat, and then type !Discord. And
no, I don't have /live working. It's just HemsworthFeet.world. The one with live is the weed number.
The weednumber.com/live.
Oh, right. Yeah, no, John, after that, if you want some more in the same vein, check out Special When Lit on Amazon. It's about pinballers, and there's some real nice mullets in that.
Hell yeah, I love a pinballer with a mullet. It's the only way I like him. That's my dream though, is to own my own like fucking Chuck E. Cheese's style arcade.
Mm.
But like,
invite all the neighborhood children over.
Yeah.
Call it Neverland Ranch.
All right, now.
Guys, for $4, I could own Bussy.rocks.
Stop.
I mean, I think you have to buy it, right?
So I looked into this a little bit, and like,
I could use the $4.
Like a real, like a brand new skee ball arcade.
You should buy Bussy.rocks and have it redirect to TJ's channel.
A skee ball machine that's not a 9-footer is $4,000.
Yeah, they're not cheap.
No, but
There's
I can
good
get
ones
I can get a cheapo like one from Walmart. You know what I mean? Like a you know, like a home game version.
Yeah.
Still like 9 foot, but you know, not as big, and that's only 400.
Okay.
But I don't want the real thing.
For $1, I can own Bussy.fun.
Bussy Fun?
Bussy.
How is that not more expensive?
We're ahead of the Bussy.
It's probably one of those things that's like $1 for the first year, $85 for the second year.
Oh, probably.
And arcade games are really
Can you
expensive.
do Bussy.world?
Yeah, it's $1 for the first year, $30 for every consecutive year.
Holy fuck.
I didn't realize that domain names had that kind of pricing structure.
Have you guys seen
A lot of them do.
just like talking about like arcade games and stuff? So another thing too is like I was watching this, I think it was a Gus Johnson video where he was talking about this type of YouTube channel that exists, but like people like putting up YouTube channels of like how to beat the claw machine.
Oh,
like,
yeah, I think that was at H3HC or something.
Yeah, well, whatever. Like
There's
Gus Johnson, the one that I saw is Gus Johnson did, and it was really good. But it's just like most people that do that are just people that have their own home machine, like their own home claw machine, and the video's like cleaning out the claw machine with only $5. It's like all like this thing, and then at the end of the video, they're like, "This is in our own home. This is our own claw machine."
Yeah, and you can set like the grip strength and stuff.
Yeah,
really turn that
and
all
it's like
up.
this is bullshit. Or like getting kicked out of arcade and like all that, and they have like all these like names in the title, but none of that actually happens, and it's just like such bullshit. But like that's what I want in my home. I want a claw machine. That sounds like it would be fun to have.
Mm-hmm.
You just put fun shit in there. Maybe if I put my food in there, that's how I could like a weight loss program.
Now, I know those 3/4.
Is that how you're going to gamify? Just go to McDonald's and order a supersized fry and dump them all in your claw machine, and then that's how you gamify your calories.
Yeah, you got to hurry it up too, because after like 10 minutes, those fries suck. So you
Let me tell you something.
Cook
I am a disgusting person, and I know this, but I will eat a fucking year-old McDonald's fry. Like,
well,
there
it'll
is
still
no
be good.
Too
like
disgusting.
food safety wise.
Yeah. There is no age or temperature of McDonald's fry that I would not eat, and I realize that means I'm going to hell, but I stand by it.
Yeah, I mean, at worst, they're still like a salt delivery device, so they're still useful for that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you guys ready? I've got the Sega Amusement Sonic Kiddie Ride is only $5,700.
Oh, there you go.
Is Ewan interested?
Is that like one of those ones outside of the grocery store?
I said, is Ewan interested in the Sonic arcade game? I'm sorry. I gotta share screen here just so you guys can see what I'm talking about.
Oh,
is this the one that has
like the blue
Mighty
car?
and Ray? Mighty the armadillo and Ray the flying squirrel?
No, it's so I'm on a website called M&P Amusements, and you can buy like stuff. No, it's
$6.
It's from the Sonic and Sega All-Star Racing.
It's like what you'd have out front of a grocery store, and you put a quarter in it to rock back and forth a few times.
I got a few of these. We got the Flower Bee, that's a little cheaper. You know, right on the little bee that goes like in circles, it looks like, up and down. What else do we got? We got the Amazing Sports Car Kiddie Ride.
I would like you to buy this and then just not be able to sit in it at all.
Right. Air hockey tables, professional air hockey tables, $5,000. Doesn't sound too weird. Whoa, arcade basketball machines, guys.
I love those.
$6,000. Oh, here we go. Hoop Fever. I played this one before. That one's only $3,000. Guys, I'm looking at starting up my arcade in my home here.
I already have an arcade in my home. It's just in VR.
Mm-hmm. I got some claw machines here.
Well, you should get.
Here we go. This is only $2,000. Plush bus. Guys, $2,000.
Pussy.
Matt, aren't you still making that mad money from being unemployed?
I think that's officially done like today.
Oh man,
So,
they never fixed that either, did they?
Nope. They're still fighting over the next relief bill. Who knows?
Oh, okay. This is probably one of my favorite games ever. Oh, these aren't even that bad. Dome hockey. Remember dome hockey?
Yeah.
You have the little guys you got to slap around.
Yeah, it's like hockey, foosball.
So yeah, near the place that we used to have an apartment, where Adam and Lance and I lived, there was a bar that had one of these, and we would just constantly go over to that bar and just drink beers, and we're the only people fucking just playing this hockey table game forever. It's awesome. I want one, but like these are really expensive. This M&P amusements. I got to imagine this is like reputable. Like I want like somebody who's like on a bar is closed down. They need to get rid of shit.
Yeah.
Like liquidate that to me.
You should start with just like a retro pie. Like get
I have one
some
already.
kit. But do you have like a kit to like put it in a big stand-up thing?
No,
or
honestly,
anything?
I think the best option if you want to go the arcade game route is just to build your own cabinet and then just put like a 32-inch LCD in there and then put a PC with MAME in it and then an X arcade stick.
There's an easier way to do that. Those 3/4 size 1-up machines, those things are easily hackable.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my a buddy of mine who is now my district manager.
I may buy one of those if they're easily hackable.
Yeah, he bought. I think he's got 2 or 3 of them now, including the Turtles one. And you're just able to just load a bunch of games on it.
Oh no! You can just install a Raspberry Pi into it.
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
It just uses all the inputs from it as like an arcade. So
okay,
and
so
you
you
can
just
do a lot of
like the
arcades.
inputs in the monitor, basically.
Yeah.
So, and then also you can hack the original board. Oh, I'm tempted because the problem I have with the arcade 1-ups is that they are 3/4 size. So they're a little bit small, especially if you're like a regular size, or for me, a 6'5" man. It is way too low, and they have the booster thing. You know what I mean? But they actually put out one that I would be interested in buying.
Oh shit! They have the Star Wars, the seeded game. That's awesome.
So yeah, arcade 1-up is they're actually really cool. Like I got to give them props because they actually have like high quality in terms of like craftsmanship. I've heard, but like it's just the size is just like to me not something I'm interested in. But the price is right. Like you're talking about $400, $150. They have countertop ones too that they sell that are only like $150. And those are.
I think your best bet then with an arcade 1-up is just get one of those custom risers for it.
Yeah, oh no, yeah. You can buy it with the riser. They're $300. So right now, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade game,
which comes with that and Turtles in Time.
And it comes with Turtles in Time, yes, is $370 with the riser. You want to get this one if you're going to do the hacking, probably because it has four. Oh, but they're only 2 buttons.
2 button. Yep.
So that's probably not the best for hacking because you'd want ideally 4 with 4. So the one actually I would buy is the NBA Jam machine that they put out.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
And that is a 4-player 3-button. So you have 4 3-button control things. God damn, dude! If I had
Arcade
one, go ahead.
Arcade 1-up has Golden Tee.
They do have Golden Tee. Yeah.
Fuck.
They have a couple really, really good systems. Everyone really likes these. I mean, the reviews are all really high on these. I mean, people have there's a lot of 1-star reviews because.
See, at least with Golden Tee, you can hack things like Centipede, Millipede, and Rampart, but that's even Marble Madness, I guess, but only single player.
Yeah, the Street Fighter cabinet's pretty good too. The only problem is that it's just Street Fighter 2, 3 different ways.
Yeah,
which is like I guess okay, but the nice thing about the Street Fighter one is that it's got all the awesome like fucking 90s art on it.
Yep.
And it has 2 6-button spots, so you can that would be like if you wanted to do 2-player games, if you were going to hack that, you would be set. But honestly, if you really wanted to do that, because I looked into this, and like buying one of those pre-built machines that is already like the cabinet built with controllers and everything, they're like $2,000. Like they're a lot, you know. And they come with like 2,000 games built in, but like I don't give a shit about that. You just put in your own PC.
I posted a link in the Discord for like where you can just get custom cabinets, and they're not $2,000, but they're still pretty expensive.
Yeah,
but then you have to buy your own like and monitor and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's not too bad though. This that's a 3/4 size. I was like, oh, that's not too bad, but you know, $330 for 3/4 size, like what? That's like the same price as an arcade 1-up one, like, and it doesn't have anything built in. So like the cheapest way is just to buy the buttons and then wire them up yourself and build your own custom boards. Those are apparently not too hard to do.
No.
But honestly, if you really want, I think it's just X Arcade.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's just is it the tank stick? That's what they call it. There's a two-player. Yeah, they have their own X Arcade machine. That is like a full thing, but yeah, here it is. It is the tank stick. Is what they call it. With a trackball is $200, and it is 2 10-button joysticks and a trackball in the middle. And like if that, you can just hook up to your PC with MAME and just play.
Yep.
Like, and you don't really need, like, to me, like, is it really worth the extra money just to have the physical cabinet? I mean, kind of, but if I'm doing that, I want to buy actual cabinets of like games that I like. Like, if I'm just gonna like, because playing with the because all you would need to do is just get a small table, put the like arcade sticks in front of it, and just set a TV, and then have an old PC with MAME built in on there with like a wireless keyboard, so you can like switch between games and stuff. Yeah. But like it gives you the same feeling. Like, and I mean, because I used to play so many arcade games on my like computer back when I was a kid, like because this was back in the early days of the internet, and it was, remember, you can download this ROM for 24 days, and then if you keep it or 24 hours as a trial, and if you keep it for more than 24 hours, it's illegal, is what they would say. It's like, yeah, that's definitely not how it works. But
I forget what it was now, but this would have been in like 2002-ish, 2001, 2002. There was some service that it literally was just something you downloaded. Someone wrote a really shitty user interface for it, and it would download a ROM and just start running whatever version of emulator. Like, you basically just downloaded it, 3 emulators, and like it was a Super Nintendo and a regular Nintendo's entertainment system and Sega Genesis, I think. And it was an emulator for those 3. And a list of just basically every ROM that you could download from their site. And if you clicked it, it would download it from their site and play it. And they try to like sell you the ability to like play them for more than a day or something like that. And it was like, even as a like kid, I'm like, in 2002, I'm like 9-10 years old. And as a kid, I'm like, there's no fucking way they have the rights to sell me the ROM for Super Mario Brothers for the Nintendo Entertainment System.
Oh, I know. Well, that's not a bad one that you shared there, Matt. Game Room Solutions, $104.
Yeah, I don't know what if they have like a USB interface or what, or if that's just literally to plug into an actual cabinet.
I would assume they have a USB interface.
But also, like, I was looking at that, and they have their fucking schematics on their site. So, if you want, I can just cut some boards.
No, this is a USB one. Yeah, I mean, the other thing too is I just posted up that X Arcade makes a full-sized arcade cabinet that doesn't come with a PC, whatever, but it is the screen, the controller. But the cabinet is like awesome. It's like full professional grade cabinet. Like, it's got built in, but like you put in your own PC in there. It's got a coin slot and everything if you wanted to use it like actually. But then it has like a locked cabinet that you put a mouse and keyboard in, so you could like slide that out. and do stuff. So it's like basically built to be. I've seen this because Geeks Mania, the arcade in town, or one of the arcades in Madison, has one of these set up with stuff in it, and so that's a way to do it. I think $1,500 isn't too crazy, considering basically the only thing you need to do is just plug a PC into it, basically into the screen. And
well, you should be getting another $1,200 stimulus check eventually.
Yeah,
so you could just throw that all in a cabinet.
No, I have to spend $6,000 on repairing my deck, so that's over.
That sounds awful.
Yeah, it's part of home ownership. Things fall apart and you need to spend money on them. But
why do you have to spend $6,000 on repairing a deck?
Because it's a wraparound deck around the entire house. So
why don't you just fix it yourself by hand with hand tools?
I could do it.
I'm not a carpenter.
I could do it for $4 as long as you give me a place to stay for a while.
Honestly,
no, 4,000.
Oh.
I would probably do it for like 4,000.
Yeah, like how hard can a deck be to make?
All right, so here's what we're gonna do.
I've built one before. I built one at my mom's house.
Spanky's gonna come up. I'm gonna come down. We're gonna do it. He's gonna get 2,500. I'm gonna get 15. Oh, sorry. He's gonna get 2,000. I'm gonna get 1,500, and then you supply the alcohol.
Okay.
Done.
And I'll be the manager. I'll be the site foreman.
I will warn you that I will drink more than $500 of alcohol. So when you go that route, you are spending you need to say the previously quoted $4,000.
Quote him a low price, but then have a clause that also unlimited alcohol. So then you can just drink like thousands of dollars.
That's fine. I will only drink $30 of alcohol, even if it takes us a month.
This is like not that bad, to be honest with you. This arcade control put that you put up from Game Room Solutions. I might buy one of these. I mean, $100 for this, like.
Yeah, I mean, especially if it's all the hardware and stuff is just plug and play, ready to go.
It does seem like that. They literally just. Oh, we know it says. Just want to get playing. Get a unit today from our plug and play section. Oh, plug and play probably has. They have their own like pre-built desktop with $850 for a countertop multicade CK. It's got Raspberry Pi in it. Oh my god, fuck off! $850 for that.
Yeah, just like literally just some CNC work and a Raspberry Pi, and.
Yeah, so these plug and play ones where you're talking about, Matt, just have Raspberry Pi installed, and then you just need
because you just need you just need something to translate the inputs to USB.
Yeah, but just MAME will work. Like you don't need anything special. Like all you need is just this comes with a USB built in. Like so, that's it really. I don't know. The joysticks so there's Zippy or Sanwa or LED. So there's 3 different types of joysticks you can choose from. Guts Pack just adds in like a fully configured Raspberry Pi and a 256 gig micro SD for 170. Oh, you can add the trackball for $50. There you go. That's not bad though. $150 for a 2-person 6-button. For that, man, I don't know. I'm tempted. I'm not going to.
Coward.
I've already spent enough on bullshit. We get another stimulus, I'll buy it.
All right.
Because I don't have an extra TV, but the TV in the basement isn't set up to do anything because we don't even have a fucking table down there. But I could or a couch down there yet. It hasn't really been a time to rush to buy furniture and furnish our house right now because it's not like we have people over, but it'd be nice because then I could just set up like a little table in front of the TV and put that joystick in, and then I got my old 2008 computer that I bought right after college. It's probably still kicking, or I could hook a laptop up honestly to that TV with MAME like through HDMI and just play arcade games down there. It'd be fun. The problem is, though, with arcade games is that if you don't actually spend quarters, they become kind of trivial.
Yeah.
Some of them. Like, there's no challenge. It's just the challenge was the money. That's not all arcade games. Like a lot of them is like high score with one life.
Like when the three of us were playing. What did we do? Was it Turtles 2?
I think we did the entirety of the Turtles game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Turtles arcade game. Yeah.
When we went to Geeks Mania. Man, when we're available to go again to the outside world,
yeah,
Spanky, you'll have to come up here, and and maybe TJ can come down, and we can go to Geeks Mania because it's just basically a full arcade with everything on free play, and you pay I think $15 for the day or something like that for a full day. Oh, and it's near the mall, so you can take a break and go to the food court and eat, come back. I think that's what we did even. That was a lot of fun, and they got like everything there. It's mostly like not everything, like not the newest stuff, but they have, I would say, like everything up to like the mid 2000s. Like I think
that's what you want to play anyway.
Yeah, like they don't have like the Mario Kart. Actually, I think
I don't want to play Flappy Bird, the arcade game.
Yeah, no, they don't have like Redemption.
That exists.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I saw that.
Yeah.
It's a redemption game.
Yeah, it's actually kind of fun.
Just like pop the pig,
and you just hit a button. Yeah.
So the round trip flights from Springfield to Madison are $250, which isn't that bad.
You drive
They're
because it's
also
super
like
cheap,
5 hours. No, but it's also 5 hours long because of the fucking late. I have to do a layover.
I think it's like a 5-hour drive.
I know. Nah, it's way more than 5 hours.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, but you can fly drunk, John.
Most.
No, okay, so where I'm at is 2 hours from Tulsa, Oklahoma. So
my wife goes down to Tulsa every year for the horse show.
My wife.
And they drive that in one day.
7.5.
All right, let's go to the internet.
Google Maps.
You can't
use Google Maps though because it's illegal.
Yeah, you have to find a free open source map program.
Bing.
I am. I'm using OpenStreetMap.
Jesus Christ. Oh man, how's the data on OpenStreetMaps?
Oh, it's almost 9 hours. Or no, 8 hours. There we go.
Directions
if you drive
to my
double
home
speed
from the middle of Springfield, Missouri.
Can you get a megabus up here? That's like $4.
TJ is somewhat wrong.
No, it's I got. Well, I'm on Big Maps, which sucks. But if you go the tollway, it's 8 hours. If you go the not tollway, it's 9.
And I'm actually seeing here flights direct from Springfield to Madison exist. And they're $120, $80, and it's a 3-hour flight. Yeah, Delta. No connecting.
It's got to be, I say, 3 hours is this. I took a direct flight to Maryland and it took me 2 hours. If it's 3 hours, I'm going further than fucking Wisconsin.
Yeah, that's true. Because when I flew to Philadelphia earlier this year, I still think that's crazy that I was in an airport in the middle of February, like an international airport.
Yeah.
And it was just like, we didn't know.
Well, what was the day where everything shut down? Was that in February?
That was in March. It was like March.
Because that was the day when I was like, oh shit.
Everything shut down.
Yeah.
And so it was just like, yeah, because my wife and I were planning on possibly flying down to Miami because we have a family friend that lives in Miami, and he was like,
Is it Will Smith?
We can stay at Will Smith's Miami Beach party house because he has an extra bedroom.
Miami.
And that would have been cool because I've never been to Miami. I've been to Florida, but never Miami. I've only ever been to the Orlando area.
If I come up to Madison, I'm definitely going to be flying because it's like $250 for 3 hours, and like the layover is annoying. But the alternative is 9 hours and probably like 150 to 250 in gas. Same. So
what?
I would probably.
Well, gas is not that expensive.
No,
not now.
You don't know what kind of car I drive.
Oh, you bought the Buick that gets no gas.
Do you drive a monster truck?
No. The Buick gets pretty good, but for a while before I got the Buick, I was driving my mom's 4-door 2010 Jeep Wrangler, and that motherfucking thing will drink gas.
I mean, truck lift kits are mandatory where you live, right? So that cuts in on the gas.
My mom's Wrangler does have a 1/2-inch lift on.
I mean, I've driven to fucking Kansas City multiple times.
I've done
Kansas City's nice.
So it's a 7.5-hour drive. I say anything that's under 8 or 9, or under like 9 hours is like a day is doable, because you can break that up into 2 long chunks with a break in the middle. It's like a work day. I mean, I drove up to fucking Bemidji for work.
I drove
like getting a flight up to the like northern part of Minnesota is just impossible, because even if you get a flight, the closest airport you land at is still like an 1.5-hour drive. So it's like, what's the fucking point? Like, I had to take 2 flights and then drive an 1.5 anyway. Go ahead.
I drove 16 hours to Orlando, Florida in one go. And that has basically made me fucking just never want to drive anywhere ever again.
Dude, my friend, my brother and his like fucking college bro friends, they went down to, I think like Jacksonville or Tampa or something for like spring break one year, and they drove the whole way from like Wisconsin. And they just took like shifts driving and slept in the car, and I was like, God, I would never. Like, that's something you can do when you're in your 20s, but like, to me, if I were to drive to Florida, it would be like a full trip, like, because I hate flying just because I'm so tall, it's annoying. And so like, I would be like, well, we'll drive to Nashville, stay there for a couple days, see some stuff there, and then drive to Florida,
do like a road
day.
trip.
Yeah, that's really the only way.
I would buy like a 36 connecting Greyhound bus over the course of 48 hours where I just have to let people fucking sleep and drool all over me before I will drive to Orlando again. Because here's the thing about driving to Florida. After you've spent all that time fucking driving, you're in Florida.
Well, Spanky,
it ruined driving.
Spanky, if you wanted to not fly, you could take a train.
I can't. I have to drive first, or take a Greyhound
you have to drive
first.
To Kansas City, but then you can take the train from Kansas City to Milwaukee, and then drive from Milwaukee, or take a bus from Milwaukee.
No.
I wonder, are there direct flights between MCI and Kansas City and Madison?
No, absolutely not. I know. That's why I drove. Because the first time I went there, I flew from Madison to Minneapolis, and then waited for like an hour, and then flew down to Kansas City. And the total transit time was like 8 hours anyway. And then the other time,
$100 round trip ticket right now from MCI to Madison. $100. It's like we're living in the fucking 70s with this coronavirus price.
Yeah.
But
like, I bet right now they'll let me smoke a cigar.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. They're like, fuck it. Like,
70s flights. You can smoke cigars. Our flight attendants will wear those outfits that they wore in the 70s.
Yeah.
We just need people to get on the plane.
But they're all male.
Well, yeah. You can
like it matters for Spanky.
God damn, dude. I hate flying so much.
Spanky, if you take the train to Milwaukee, I will pick you up. I'll pick you up and drive you the rest of the way.
I like how we're like pretending that we're making plans, but none of this is going to be possible.
Well, this is why we're doing it, because we know we'll never have to go through with this because it's impossible. So we'd be like, yeah, let's hang out, but we don't actually have to.
But I still want to.
Mickey, I will come visit you, and I will drive down there.
If you're doing that, I guess I'll go.
In next summer,
I don't know why. See, here's the thing, though. You would be driving from Wisconsin to Springfield, Missouri, which is a fucking stupid thing to do because at the end, just like how I was in Florida, you'd be in Springfield, Missouri.
Yeah, but right now he's in Wisconsin.
But it's easier when you're going south. It's like driving downhill.
It's faster, yeah.
That's not true.
Curvature of the Earth.
Yeah,
I'm sure it works that way.
That's how it works.
Look, The Earth isn't completely flat; it's just flat-ish.
Yeah, it's like a contact lens.
Yeah,
It's a mound.
It's got a little bit of a bubble to it. It's like a curve.
yeah,
Yeah, a mound.
and it's moving up at a rate of 9.8 meters per second. Second.
Yeah, that's
like a bullet.
Yeah, that's what gravity is.
Yeah.
If you believe in magic, I guess.
So
In a young girl's heart.
can I talk about? I want to talk about one topic I brought to the podcast.
Okay.
What's going on with the moon?
What's up with the
thread.
moon?
Because everyone's confused. Did you guys hear? Did you see this? Did you hear about this?
I'm only hearing about the confusion. I don't actually know what's going on.
I had an ex-girlfriend that became the moon.
Spoilers. Basically,
Spoilers.
what's going on? The past few days, a group of fresh baby witches, asterisk, decided to band together and hex the Fae and then the moon. And they did. They're now planning to hex the sun too. And then she wrote in the asterisk, inexperienced witches who should only be researching and doing protection work. What's a hex?
I've heard about this.
A hex is essentially a spell work that is a collection of negative energy and is directed into someone, something, or a group of someone, somethings. They're intended to have negative effects and cause harm to them and their lives. These baby witches specifically stem from witch TikTok, known as witch talk.
Okay. Okay.
That's a thing that exists.
Yeah.
Who are the Fae? You ask, Matt, ask me, who are the Fae?
Who are the Fae? I assume
Well,
they're the same as like the Tumblr witches and stuff.
Well, technically the Fae are Celtic specific. So it's more accurate to say fair folk.
Yeah.
But essentially
the Fae
they're
are
not,
fairy folk.
they are non-human creatures that fairies are based on.
Mm-hmm.
They live in this world, Matt.
Yeah.
It is extremely important to note that fair folk do not abide by human morals because they're not human. Morality is a human construct. Fair folk are not inherently malevolent, but they do have different customs than we do.
But why are we hexing them?
But when they're fucked with, woo baby, you've now got trickery for the rest of your life and maybe a bloodline curse.
So we're hexing
If you're
them?
lucky, they'll probably also steal your soul.
Wait, John, did I retweet this to you?
No, this is Spanky, there's some crossover here with you because I see that this Twitch witch account is named Hey Adora, and it does seem to be a She-Ra fan tweets a lot too. So the witch community and She-Ra are quite aligned.
That makes sense. Yeah.
I'm only on season 2.
Here's what you don't.
Oh no!
I'm only on season 2.
Currently understand, John.
Uh-huh.
I follow like 5 people on the Fediverse from witches.live. So
Okay.
So I'm already well plugged in to witch world.
Well,
So-
the moon hexing that happened a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. So why are we hexing the moon?
Okay, here I'm getting into it. So the Fae Fairfolk work is not for beginners in any form. They're to be respected, but you should not begin a relationship with them without years of experience in witchcraft and research about them. Next up, the moon thing. After hexing the Fae, so they hexed the Fae, which is just generically fairy folk in general.
I don't understand why you would hex the Fae. You don't want
This
to
is
fuck with fairies. They'll fuck you up.
You'll get into this. After hexing the Fae, the group of newbie witches decided to hex the moon. Yeah,
I mean, I want to fuck fairies, but it's fine.
They hexed. Well, why does it matter? Well, for witches, the moon is integral to our work. Most notably, it fuels spells and provides our power. Obviously, you shouldn't disrespect the moon. But actually, the moon thing matters because there are gods that rule the moon, and hurting the moon hurts them. Not so much physically as it hurts their energy, power, and hurts them emotionally. Artemis. According to those who work with her, Artemis is especially affected. But the gods whose domain is the moon mostly worried about their followers, as this affects their energy too. Why does Apollo matter? In case you didn't know, Artemis and Apollo are twins. Artemis is the goddess of the moon, and Apollo is the god of the sun. As siblings, they are very intertwined, and as his sister has been hexed, he's pissed. Have you seen how warm it is out lately? Apollo will take action for his sister, even though she's entirely capable of taking action for herself. But Apollo, he's the god of health and medicine.
So are we fixing global warming?
But Apollo, he's the god of health and medicine. They hexed his sister in the middle of an increasingly dangerous global pandemic. Matt, you might ask yourself, what will happen to the hexers? If
Bad.
the gods are
Bad
if the
stuff.
gods are merciful, their hex will just be sent back to them, and they will be hexed by the gods, if you call that mercy. If there's no mercy, a curse, lifelong, and probably on their bloodline.
Okay, so I think I was confused. I thought this was like a call to action that we're all supposed to hex the moon, but it's somebody else. Somebody has hexed the moon.
Basically, a group of newbie witches decided to hex the moon.
Well, that just seems dumb.
So
Look, I recently read The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, and I am pretty much a witch expert now. So I could confidently say you don't want to do that. You don't want to hex the moon.
So yeah, there's a.
You don't want to summon Madam Satan. You don't want to hex the moon.
So we've got I'm sorry. There's some screenshots here from the this person's witch Discord server.
Is it called Witchcord?
Where they're talking about this. The reason for taking on the moon and the Fae is they are trying to assert themselves as the higher power and prove themselves stronger. So it's just a bunch of newbie witches that are like, you know what? Let's fucking blow up the moon, because that's like what we're gonna do. And they did it on.
Let's kill the moon.
Well, here it is. Thank you. Let me know if you find more info because oh my god, this is a shit show. I've seen a lot of people saying Apollo is rejecting offerings. Candles aren't lighting for Apollo and Artemis, and some are saying they're injured in an emotional energy sense. Some are also saying Artemis and Selene, and others are more worried about how this is affecting their follower.
I didn't know witches believed in Roman gods. I thought they were all about pagan.
No, they're like all the pagan. Roman gods are pagan.
I guess.
I like this. Please stop hexing things and stop pissing off the god of health and medicine in a pandemic. Also, if you don't believe in this, absolutely do not disrespect what is happening to those of us who believe right now. Not only does it make you an asshole, but the gods in fair fold are already mad. Don't make it worse. So, guys, come on. This is real. Don't make it worse. But they also said
there are no gods.
They also said this is completely useless because the moon itself has an egregore, which is a protective spirit plot that would block any hexes anyway. I mean, there's literally nothing.
I think I just got that in Breath of the Wild because I defeated the divine beast that was on the volcano.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's it really. They're just encouraging any witches around to leave out some offerings for Artemis or Apollo right now because they're kind of offended. Some witches tried to hex them. So yeah, that was like the Twitter drama from like a week ago. Everyone was talking about hexing the moon. I just love the idea that there's witches on TikTok, and then I went to a BuzzFeed article, and there was a lot of videos of TikTok witches talking shit about these witches that hex the moon, and it's like, God, this is a whole subculture I'm not even a part of. I want to know more about witches. Yeah,
it's like when the Satanic Temple and the Church of Satan are in a feud. It's like, you're all nerds. None of this matters.
There's a lot of people on witch talk that are just saying, what the fuck? I've only been doing witchcraft for a year and all I do is protection spells. Because that's the early stuff, you want to do.
Yeah. It's probably that Wiccan bullshit anyways. I bet they're not even cutting goats' throats.
So, I'll just say this. If anyone's listening is a witch,
you need
I'm not
blood
a witch.
To follow the left-hand path.
Spell, your
send spells aren't going to work if you don't spill blood.
Send Matt some good vibes. Send Spanky and I some protection spells. We could use them, Spanky's a new homeowner.
If you are a witch and you're listening to the podcast and you're interested in joining the Fediverse, witches.live is a place for you.
So how do you create an account on Mastodon? I already have an account, so how would I do that?
Yeah, just real quick in 1 sentence.
What you do is you go to hemsworthfeet.world and you click the subscribe button at the top and you've got Mastodon. You're on it and you're verified too. You'll get your money in the mail.
And you get free access to Spanky's pussy.
Yeah.
Ooh, there's an NPR article about the novice witches hexing the moon.
Oh, good.
So you can learn all about this.
Good. Yeah, it's fun to play pretend. I like it, but
hey, this is all real, Matt.
I feel like there's more. I'm just I like occult shit and all that, but there's already so much bad information and like science denial, and I just don't think we need to make it worse.
So I want to do one final thing before we finish season 2 of Avatar. But I have an Am I the Asshole that I also saved this week that I want to go over. And especially for a new homeowner like Spanky, you'll enjoy this, and me as a homeowner as well. So have you guys heard of HOAs?
Yes.
Oh, I think I know which one you're talking about, but go ahead.
Homeowner Association. Am I the asshole for destroying my HOA? I moved into a neighborhood.
Just off the bat, no.
Yeah, exactly. I moved into a neighborhood with a decent HOA at the time. I wasn't excited about living in an HOA. So for people that know what an HOA is, it is called a homeowners association, and it's generally like homes in a certain neighborhood or block or area that's just determined. I don't know, maybe by like alderman district or whatever.
If you're on the board of the HOA, it is literally the smallest amount of power that you can have while becoming drunk with power.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of homeowners that all live in the suburb, and they basically have rules like, hey, everyone has to have the same kind of mailbox. You can't like let your grass grow higher than like 4 inches. Like, it's all these rules basically built so that all of the homes in the neighborhood look well kept, so that the home ownership value is higher. But it's all bullshit because nobody fucking gives anything about neighbors usually when you're looking at homes. All you care about is the school district generally when you're looking at homes where they're located.
Yeah.
Or whether it's
how
next
easy
to like
it is to score a horse.
So like any of these suburbs, they all look exactly the fucking same. So there's no fucking point. Anyway, so believe me, I searched and I did not want to live in one. So he didn't want one anyone, but he had to because his home. Because honestly, that's like the last thing you care about when you're getting a home. Like those options.
Yeah.
Like I would be like, whatever.
1,
and
is
usually
it
you have
haunted?
to pay.
2,
Yeah.
how many murders? 3,
Usually
plumbing age.
Yeah. 4, how many bodies are in the walls? Is this one of those drug dealer houses? Yeah. Like all those things.
Is the
Spanky, how many bodies are in your
wallpaper
wall?
secretly skin?
So the reason my Wi-Fi doesn't reach the next room is because I actually have a pretty high density of bodies.
Okay.
I've got to.
Now, Spanky, I do have to say this. In your main PC, you're using Wi-Fi and not like a direct connection?
Because
PC culture has just gone out of control at Spanky's.
Because my house was built in the 80s, doesn't have...
Mine's wired up.
It doesn't have Ethernet panels anywhere.
And
my router is not in this.
My
so
router's
you don't want
in
just
this
like a 60-foot Cat 5 or something?
I have one.
Just lay it on the ground, man.
Yeah.
That's what I did in my old apartment.
What my benefit would be that this podcast goes better, and that's it.
Well, you could play WoW better.
I don't use my computer to play any video games.
You play WoW.
Yes, I don't use my computer to play any video games or any shit like that, so it doesn't really bother me, I guess.
Wow. Well, what you need to do is install the Ethernet through your house because you own it now, so you can do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm waiting on.
You should do that thing where you install a bunch of like USB outlets too, and then they're like outdated in a couple of years.
That's the problem. Like, it's like, do I install Cat 5?
Well,
probably not. You might want to do Cat 6.
No. I would do Cat 6, but here's the thing about the USB ones is you don't have to replace the wire you run because it's all 5 volt. Yeah. So you just have to replace the socket.
Yeah, but that still sounds like a pain
with
in the
Cat
ass.
5, Cat 5e, and Cat 6, you better just go Cat 6 because eventually you're going to wish you had.
Yeah. So,
I mean, if you have a 30-year fucking mortgage on a home and you go Cat 5, you're a dumbass.
Here's what you do. You have within your house, all the networking is like optical. It's just fiber optic cables just going through your wall.
Just put 5G.
You can 5G. You can do 5G. You actually can run fiber optic.
Yeah, that's how you future-proof it.
Just run fiber optic cables throughout the walls.
No, you actually can run fiber optic and then terminate it as Ethernet. You can do that if you want.
Yeah, do it.
I don't.
Do it, coward.
Sounds like a pain in the ass. But
I was about to say, Cat 6 cables are cheap as shit. Like, I don't know about fiber optics.
Yeah.
But what about when they come out with Cat 7?
Well,
so The good thing you can use fiber optic for if you have a second building on your property and you want to run a cable to it underground, fiber optic is good for that, because if you use Cat 6, if the ground gets struck by lightning, the copper in it will fry the shit on both ends. So that's
and
what
how is the
no
panic room that you're starting to dig in your basement? Is it?
He doesn't have a basement.
First of all, I don't have a basement.
Oh no!
Second of all,
why do homes in Missouri not have basements?
Is that?
Because
yeah, I've heard that. Is that
you
like
think
a
with all the
thing?
tornadoes in the area, they would have basements, so you can get away from the tornado.
The reason they don't have basements, they're all double wide trailers.
Yeah, there are no actually homes built. It's just like a trailer that gets added on and added on.
This looks like a house, but it's actually just a single wide.
Yeah, they've just it's highly customized.
To be fair, I don't have a basement either, so I'm in a split level. But
I would
part
say,
of my
John,
house
the
is
actual
underground.
reason. I would say the actual reason is that the type of soil that we have has a lot of clay and shit in it, and when it gets wet, like it's hard to have a foundation.
It just won't sit.
We're doing a lot of landscaping, or not land, but hardcore terraforming to your property, and people don't want to do that. So what really people will do is they'll have I forget what it's called, but it's like when the basement goes out into it's basically it's underground on 3 sides, but then the ground on the backyard is dug in, so the basement walks out into the backyard.
Yeah. So if there was a tornado, you would just get into the part of the house that's mostly underground.
I don't have a basement either, so I'm right there with you guys.
I've seen people with basements. It's not like it doesn't happen. It's just that for whatever reason you don't.
Yeah, luckily I think up in Madison we don't have to worry about tornadoes that much anyway, especially where I am on the east side, close enough to the lake. Usually the tornadoes don't get near the lake.
I get tornadoes, but I get at least one tornado a month during tornado season.
Yeah. This year was pretty quiet, actually, in Wisconsin. There weren't a lot of tornadoes. But anyway, let's talk about HOAs. So at first it was not so bad. Occasionally someone got fined for not mowing their lawn, or someone got fined for having 5 dogs and the limit was 2, but whatever. It got worse, however, when a storm knocked down a tree on Mrs. Smith's porch. And it was there for 10 days. Mrs. Smith is 85 years old and she can't remove a 25-foot tree from her yard. It wasn't even on the street. It just blocked the sidewalk, which is still pretty bad. Those bastards thought it was reasonable to fine her $100 a day, and she didn't do anything. To make matters worse, the HOA demanded Mrs. Smith only use their service, and they weren't going to let her use some other company she had contacted. So, you got to use our specific tree service that we want to use for this neighborhood, not that. We were initially unaware of this, but I was fucking pissed. And me and my buddies just got some chainsaws and we chopped it up in her yard and removed all of it and cursed out the HOA board members at the next meeting. Fuck those people. It got even worse when they were telling kids to take down birdhouses, fining people for not picking up their garbage cans 10 minutes after pickup. People have to work. Pickup is between 9 and 11 a.m. Some people have jobs. Sorry that you don't have to bear the sight of a trash can on the curb. They tried finding some veteran for hanging up his Marine Corps flag because it was larger than the size limit. He had the flag up for years, but then one day they just decided that it was too big. The last straw is, they told us when the Ramirez's, that they couldn't build a small ramp, so their wheelchaired grandpa, who lost his legs in Vietnam, could more easily enter the house. What scum-sucking sacks of shit. That is what HOA members are.
Yep.
So this is the best, though. This is the best part of the story. This HOA sucks. All right. I ran for HOA president, and I won by about 60%. And I got my friends on the board. We did everything we could to destroy the HOA. We undid everything. No more fines, no more rules or anything. We removed everything we could, and we did not enforce anything except for violations that the former board members had violated, so we would fine the shit out of them. We're currently working on entirely abolishing the HOA as there is a process for that. The remaining 40% of the neighborhood is fucking pissed. And so are the other people I know personally, because I just moved into this neighborhood 5 months ago and I destroyed their HOA. A lot of people here wanted an HOA and they liked it and fucking hate me for destroying it. And here's a couple notes for I say. You won 60-40. Sorry, majority rules. Like
especially if this person like ran on, I will destroy the HOA. Like as long as everybody knew what they were getting into when they voted for them.
Not the asshole. HOAs are evil. They're really fucking dumb. There's so many HOA horror stories. It is just stupid because they're of some sort of weird mind that if a neighborhood is kept to a certain standard, the house values will be higher. And it really has nothing to do. It's just like how when people say, oh man, you got to like protect the planet, so stop using plastic straws. And it's like, no, tell a fucking ExxonMobil to stop drilling in fucking Alaska. Because, small things like a dirty yard or a flag too big could possibly lower like the house values in the neighborhood if it got out of hand. But in general, nobody is going to care that much about it. Like, it's just so, like, overblown. And it's
there's a whole thing about, like, the value of real estate is location.
It's just location. If an apartment building is built across the street from your neighborhood, you're fucked. It doesn't matter what your HOA is. Your home values are just going to go down. It has nothing to do with the neighborhood itself, like being clean.
But what if I'm out hunting rabbits in the backyard and up through the ground comes a bubbling crude? Then it's going to go up.
Yeah.
So that's how that works.
That's true.
Wow, I'm learning a lot about the economy today.
Yeah.
I actually have a short one.
Okay.
Yeah,
you have a short asshole?
Yeah, I have a short asshole.
Okay.
One that's actually been one that's actually been deleted from Reddit, but fortunately I have a screenshot on Twitter.
Oh, I love when they're deleted from Reddit.
Yes. So this is a would I be the asshole? So he's not done this yet. Would I be the asshole if I made my daughter's hearing an incentive?
Wait.
All right.
What? I don't understand what that means. But
that's fine. You will shortly.
Wait a minute. I read this one. This is fucking pure evil.
It is. That's why it's deleted. I'm a father of 3 kids. God damn it, it's me.
Yeah. Look, you're trying to cover by being like, oh yeah, it's totally me, which means it's not. And it's like, I see through your game. This is totally you covering.
Exactly. I'm a father of 3 kids, and the oldest is 13 years old and has cochlear implants. Let's call her Judy. In our house, we make certain things like dessert and screen time, amongst other things, incentives that you earn by doing chores. All of my kids understand that you can only get those rewards by doing chores, and it works out great. But lately, Judy has been staying up past bedtime talking to her friends on the phone, and she's using more screen time than is given to her. I'm considering making her cochlear implants batteries an incentive, not for the whole day, just large parts of the day, to better encourage her to do her chores and respect the screen time. Plus, so she wouldn't be able to hear her friends without the implants. So would I be the asshole if I made her cochlear implant batteries an incentive?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Very much yes.
That's called
That's
child
like having
abuse.
a kid in a wheelchair and being like, stairs for you unless you do the dishes, motherfucker.
Yep. And of course, John Silence is absolutely confirming.
Yeah,
he's definitely agreeing that
he's pro using a child's hearing as a bargaining chip.
Yep.
Isn't that right, John? John is nodding now. He says yes.
Because I'm sure when his first child needs a prosthetic leg, he'll take away the leg when he or she doesn't do their chores. And
if not, if they don't need a prosthetic leg, he's going to threaten to cut it off. Cut that shit off.
I meant to say they. I apologize.
Oh, it's fine. Nobody's going to cancel you, TJ. Nobody listens to us.
No one listens to me, that's for sure. Ask my kids.
Waka waka.
That's why I'm trying to take away the cochlear implant batteries.
And that's why John agrees with the with the asshole.
It's weird that John kept like doing the Hitler salute and stuff during that. Like it's like not appropriate, John.
I'm just gonna keep eating this cookie.
How is it?
It's good. It's a butter cookie. Chocolate. Well, it was a butter cookie, but this one was chocolate flavored and it had a cherry.
Oh, that sounds really good.
Thing there.
Closest I have over here is generic Doritos.
Ooh, I love generic Doritos.
These are
I have electrical tape that kind of looks like a cookie.
I used to love the IGA boxed macaroni and cheese because I just have this, like, my grandma used to make it and she'd always make it with way too much milk, so it was like soupy.
Oh,
like my
there you go.
childhood love of mac and cheese. So you finished that child abuse one?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Solved it all.
So, who was they were the asshole? You determined?
No, it was the kid. Kid was the asshole.
Okay, that makes sense.
Way to be deaf, you jerk. I don't know.
Are you talking about the child or John?
The child. the imaginary child. Because in the fiction that we just established, we decided that the child was the asshole.
I mean, do we think that happened, though, at that point?
I don't think it would have been deleted if it wasn't.
I don't think it happened because the guy was thinking about doing it and he never did. And he probably won't.
But do you think the guy was actually thinking about it, or was it just a writing exercise for karma and then it just got so much negative attention?
Enough.
No, I think he was thinking about it.
Oh.
Especially with some of the comments I saw on Twitter, people saying, like, yeah, my parents used to do shit like not allow me to take my, like, ADHD medication or something if I didn't do stuff. And it's like, okay, that's
bad.
Dude, parents are terrible. Like, they'll be like, oh, you can't take birth control.
Turns out, like anyone could just do that.
No. I saw a fun article, and I wanted to do one lighthearted thing before we move into Avatar.
Okay.
So JJ Watt just posted about his dogs, Tex and Finley, and then he posted he has to come clean. Tex once ate a full stick of butter that was sitting on the counter unattended. He was perfectly fine. I just never said he did it because I didn't know if pet owner Twitter was going to come for my head. And I was like, and everyone was just like, absolutely not. Dogs do dumb shit like that all the time. Matt, do you have any? I want to get everyone's pet stories about, like, the dumbest thing or the, like, funniest thing a pet of them ever ate or did that was like an asshole thing. Like, my pet's an asshole because, and I can start since I have one. So we used to take, my parents should never be pet owners because once my brother and I left, they had a lot less empathy for the cats that we had when we were kids, and my parents wanted to put down George, who was a 17-year-old cat, because he just basically would never poop in the litter box because he was just kind of a dick. So we took him because they were like, no, don't euthanize our family pet because he's an asshole. And he was a huge asshole. He would steal food all the time. But he was a smart guy. And he looked exactly like the cat from Shrek, the Puss in Boots, with those eyes. He had the biggest eyes. Like, he got away with it because he looked so cute. And so my story was one time he had this is funny because he stole off the counter a packet of beef jerky and got his head stuck inside the plastic bag and just kind of roamed around the house pretending that it didn't matter to him that he had his head stuck in, like, a somewhat see-through plastic bag. And I was just like, you fucking asshole. Like, you jerkwad. Like, he was doing that. And he didn't have any teeth. So, like, the jerky did not stay down. Like, Oh. Because she hears me talking about George. Oh, yes, and he also got his head stuck in a fry cup from, like, a McDonald's. He just stuck his head in and he was walking around with it. Like, he would just, and then one time he knocked over a trash can because there was a rotisserie chicken carcass left over in there while we were sleeping. We just heard this huge crash and there's just, like, fucking chicken all over the floor because he was an asshole. Anyway, that's the stories of my asshole pets. My dog doesn't steal anything because she's an angel. Go ahead.
One of my cats is very into human food, and, like, he's stolen countless things from me. Just, like, while I'm sitting here, I'll have, like, an unfinished hamburger or something over there, and he'll just pull it down and start eating it. So one time I was making a quesadilla, and I had the tortilla on the counter, and I like sprinkled cheese on it. I left the room for something. I don't know. Couldn't have been more than like 30 seconds. I came back. He's standing on the counter licking the cheese, and just licking the fucking cheese.
My current cats are obsessed with bread. They like stole a bread bag once, and there was just like a perfect cat bite mark in the corner. And I was like, "What the fuck, man?" Anyway, go ahead. Spanky.
Mike doesn't like he doesn't like human food at all, which is weird for a cat. I mean, like,
my cats
of course,
like
if it's human food that's basically like this could also be cat food. He of course. So like if it's tuna, he's gonna like that. But like if I'm just making a hamburger or another, he couldn't give a shit less. But his thing is that him smelling the food makes him remember that he is hungry and wants to get my attention. So he will knock shit off the table, not to eat it, just to piss me off. So like if I'm sitting at the table and having dinner, and I've got like my plate is here, and then let's say I've got like a second plate for like side or anything like that. That second plate is almost 100% going to be attempted to be knocked off the fucking table. So there's that, and like the funny thing is like, so this will happen. He'll start bugging me for food if he smells like I'm cooking burger, or if I'm cooking chicken, or if I'm cooking salmon or anything like that. Yeah. If I'm making a salad, he doesn't give a shit about me. So it's like, it's very much like just the smell of me cooking reminds him that he should have more food. And because of that, he'll be an asshole until he achieves more food.
Yeah. Cats and pets are assholes, but you know what pet isn't an asshole?
Appa.
My kids.
Judy.
Well, my dog Judy projectile shadow over my floor multiple times, so even though it wasn't her fault, I still have PTSD from watching her just plunk down in front of the television and just blow a load of liquid shit all over the floor. I felt so bad. I mean, she obviously has stomach problems, but like it was just, whew, I was just like, oh my god, she's pooping, oh my god. Yeah. So Avatar, let's get to it. Avatar fandom wiki. I gotta get there.
We're on Appa's Lost Days, where Appa had a very good time and nothing went wrong.
Yeah, so this episode, this is episodes what? 16 through 20?
16 through 20 of season 2 of Book 2 Earth.
Yes, so Appa's Lost Day is the 16th episode, and it is hey, what happened to Appa?
Yeah.
It is like a flashback, because we finished, the third quarter of the season was the Tales from Ba Sing Se, and then they were kind of like, oh, we got to find Appa, and here's what was Appa up to during those days. It's kind of also a filler episode too, a little bit, because there isn't a lot of storyline in this, other than the fact that the Firebenders have like a circus, I guess.
Yep.
And they bought. That's who bought. It wasn't. He wasn't bought by someone in Ba Sing Se, is what we find out. Yep. He was bought by Fire Nation Carnival or whatever is going on in the occupied Earth Kingdom. And so Appa, I guess a Fire Nation boy befriends him, and he just escapes. I don't know. He escapes and he flies back where the library is to find it was buried.
Yep.
And then he just flies off, and it's actually kind of sad because it's just like basically starving. You know what I mean? And he has flashbacks to when he met Appa for the first time, and
but we do see that Appa sees in color, which is an important biological fact because that's what his memories are.
Yeah, but like you basically Appa flies around a lot. Iroh apparently saw him while they were on the ferry, and he never mentioned it, of course, because if he would have said something to Zuko would have fucking jizzed his pants. Been like, the Avatar, and just
my honor.
And that comes up. That helps to explain later how Iroh knows that Avatar's in the city too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he, then he finds the Kyoshi. The Kyoshi warriors find him basically.
Well, that's after he. Well, I guess he wins the fight against the porcupine.
Yeah, the thing
yes.
about a porcupine fight is you never really win it. You just lose less than the other guy.
Yeah, because he was stuck with quite a few quills.
Yeah, and so then the Kyoshi warriors find him after he beat the injured from the porcupine. They like bring him back to health. But that's short, or no, they want to bring him back to health. They roll him, clean his fur, but then immediately fucking Azula, Mai, and Ty Lee are on their mongoose lizards, and immediately are like, well, we got to capture the fucking Appa because they're still after the Avatar. They were following his like fur at one point too, so that makes sense.
Yep.
But then the Kyoshi warriors basically just hold them off while he flies off, basically.
And he goes home.
He just basically flies everywhere. But then he goes to the air temple, and then he meets Guru Pathik.
Yep.
And whoever said that they never used that thing again lied, because Guru Pathik uses the earth,
everything is connected,
spirit connection thing that the guy in the forest used the one time to find that.
Yes, Spanky, you liar.
Ba Sing Se.
No, the thing I said is never comes up again is the like past never happened, the future, that whatever the fuck that thing was.
Well, whatever. He uses that thing from the previous episode and finds
the seeing into the future thing. That never comes up for the rest of Avatar or Korra.
Yes. And so Appa flies into Ba Sing Se, and the Dai Li capture him immediately. And that's the end. Long Feng was blowing a whistle as well, which is what was he was
blowing a lot of stuff.
He could blow me.
Yeah.
So yeah, not a lot happens in that episode.
No, just a bunch of basically, it's Appa's version of living in America in 2020.
Yeah.
Note that episode won a Humane Society award for its portrayal of its mistreatment of animals.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we got the next episode that kind of starts, I would say, like the 3-part finale. No, 4-part finale would be.
Yeah, I think so.
It's start. Yeah, this is kind of where the beginning of the end. Lake Lao Guy. What's Lake Lao Guy?
It's the mind control place. There's no war in Ba Sing Se.
Yeah, so they're still looking.
There's no coronavirus in Ba Sing Se.
They're still looking for Appa, and like they're making drawings, and everyone makes fun of Sokka's drawings being really bad, and they are, to be fair. Although Toph says they look fine.
Yeah,
but I love Toph.
Why do you feel the need to do that?
And then Judy is there, but it's the different Judy, of course. Fucking fly! Oh my god, I got it.
Eat it.
You know, that's like the thing when you kill a fly in hands, and you're like,
yeah.
Then you have to deal with goopy. All right. Anyway, I did a cool thing.
It's the original Judy, but she doesn't. She doesn't know anything. She doesn't remember anything. Yeah.
Yeah. She's been obviously brainwashed. So they're like, "Fuck it," and then Aang just flies around. They drop flyers everywhere, and I think the Dai Li are secretly watching them and taking the flyers down and stuff. And then elsewhere, Longfeng is disappointed in Judy's second failure. During the Avatar, she worries that the group no longer trusts her, and rightly so. Longfeng simply says, "The Earth King has invited you to Lake Lao Gai," and her pupils dilate, and she all too calmly accepts the invitation. Yeah. So yeah, the tea shop. This happened, I think, in a previous episode, but Iroh was, I think, granted someone
funded his own tea shop. Yeah,
they were like, you need to come up to the upper reaches and make your own tea shop because you're way too good to just be in the poor part of town. And so, like, he's being funded basically. I mean, this is a dream come true for Iroh. Like, I can just fucking own my own shop and brew my own awesome tea and hang out all day. And it seems like Zuko is like maybe slowly turning around on his whole like revenge fantasy, but not fully. But maybe you can work on it. And so as they're setting up posters, Jet shows up. I think at some point, right?
Yeah, Jet's back. And he says he may know where Appa is.
Oh, sorry. And also, I guess as soon as like Iroh is like excitedly talking about the new tea shop, Zuko informs him that the Avatar is in the city searching for the bison because the flyers are coming down, basically. And so it's like, fucking Avatar's here. He doesn't have his bison, so I'm gonna get my honor. And that's
where's my bison? Yeah,
my bison. So yeah, Jet basically is like, oh yeah, fucking Katara's like immediately just blasts him with water attacks.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I don't know what's going on. Like, and he drops his swords.
Because the last time we saw him, he was getting brainwashed, and I think Long Feng, is that what his name is? Says something about after he sends Judy away. He's like, well, we have to take a different approach then. So Jet's getting sent in as the secret agent, but he doesn't know he's Manchurian candidating.
And this episode, we find out that Toph uses her earthbending to feel people's heartbeats and kind of use that as a lie detector throughout the whole
she
thing.
can do some crazy shit. So the other thing too is, so basically Jet's like, I can help you find Appa. Basically, he wants to like pay him back by like helping him find Appa. And they go on this kind of like chase around the city, and they're like, hey, the creature is off at Whale Tail Island. And that could take weeks to get there because it's near the South Pole.
And they don't have a flying bison to ride.
Yeah, so it's like going to be insane and set off. And then on the way out, Smellerbee and Longshot come across again. And Jet had said he claimed to left his gang behind, but they're there. And then Smellerbee's like, he was arrested by the Dai Li a couple weeks ago. And then he's like, no, I didn't. And then like Toph is like, they're both telling the truth. And they're like, something must have happened to him. And then they basically figure out he was brainwashed. The fucking blue spirit shows up again. I forgot.
Yep.
And Zuko captures a agent of the Dai Li basically, and like gets him to tell him where they're.
So the blue spirit goes to try and grab Appa.
Get the Appa because he knows Appa's being held by the Dai Li. And then the Avatar team finds like, hey, must be in the same place basically, because he remembered seeing like a huge chamber when he was down there, like where like a bison could be.
It's
kept.
like this. It's under the lake. It's
literally under a lake.
You have to earthbend to get to the entrance and stuff.
And the creepy part too is like, Judy has said that like multiple people take a quote vacation to Lake Laogai, so it's pretty like obvious that they're just brainwashing their citizens that like try and go crazy. I mean,
we find a room of training Judys down there. As they go down there.
There's a whole room full of Judys being trained. So anyway, they get in, and it's like really creepy down there, and they look around, and Zuko finds the Appa cell first.
And who followed?
Iroh. Iroh's like, dude, stop. Like, what are you going to do when you get this? Like, you can't escape. Like, you're not planning ahead. And he actually, like, literally, like, yells at, he gives him a real dressing down. He's like, remember when you fucking went to the North Pole last season and you, like, stole the Avatar while he was in the Avatar state and you basically almost fucking froze to death because you
didn't have a plan?
I would have figured it out.
I would have come up with it.
No, you would have died if Avatar and his friends hadn't brought you back to the cave.
It's multiple times when Aang has literally saved his life.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and so then he's just like, he gives him a real talk, and you can see he's kind of like thinking it over. He's like, you're right. You're like, fuck, man. Like, and he's like, stop trying to do what other people have told you should do and come up with what you should, like, be a man, choose your own future, basically. I don't really give a shit about this. Jet got like fucking tranced anyway. They have like a battle.
Yeah, there's the classic like, oh, I'm fighting with you now. Oh, he said the magic trigger word, so now I'm
gonna fight
again.
you.
Blah, blah, blah. And then
anyway,
I think you have to like break out of it or something. I don't know.
And then Smellerby and Longshot basically are like, we'll hold them off. Will you go to find Appa? And then
I mean, Jet is also like critically injured.
Well, no. Longfang leaves the battle after basically nearly killing Jet.
Yeah.
And
he like blasts him with a rock.
Yeah,
like full speed.
So what I should say is, very early on, like the first episode, I said there's only one death in the show.
Yeah.
Besides Sokka's girlfriend, and it's Jet. He does not die in the episode, but the last thing that Toph says is that she can feel his heartbeat fading, and then the next time that any of these other characters show up, he's not there.
Yeah, no, they're like, go on, we'll be fine. And she's like, I could tell they're lying.
Yeah, exactly. Because Longshot actually speaks.
Yeah.
You know, we've gone through worse than this before. We'll take care of him. We know he'll survive. And then as everyone leaving,
he shows up again.
You see Toph crying, saying, I know they're lying. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
right.
Oh yeah. Anyway,
I mean, I feel like Katara could have stuck around for like 20 minutes and just like do some cool healing shit. Like,
I don't know how much you can heal someone's like entirely destroyed organs from a rock hitting them.
Well,
in the chest.
and she's already used her super magic healing stuff.
That's true. Her super magic healing water was used.
Oh wait. Oh sorry.
No, that hasn't happened yet.
Episode, right.
That hasn't happened yet. Sorry.
She could have used that for another person.
That is in the season finale.
Yeah.
So Deus Ex Machina.
I mean, Jet wasn't worth it. He was kind of a dick. Anyway.
Fair enough. That is fair enough.
But I think Jet the guy who was...
Yeah, Jet was the guy who was going to let the whole village die in order to kill a few Fire Nation.
Who was in the show did the voice that was Rufio? I thought it was Jet.
Rufio. Probably.
Yeah, I think that was Jet.
It wasn't Jet. No, because the guy who plays Jet's way too young. I'm gonna look it up. It was somebody. Dante Basco.
Rufio?
He was the leader of the Lost Boys. I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, you know that vampire movie with Kiefer Sutherland.
He's Zuko.
Oh, he's Zuko.
Right,
he's the main character. That's why. I was like, he's somewhat.
I was gonna say, I thought he was young. I thought he was a little kid at Avatar time, but he voices a character in Korra, which came out 10 years later. Sounds the same, exact same.
Oh, I guess Dante Basco isn't that old. He's only 44. So he was only in his, 30s when this came out, so. But anyway, he does Zuko, who's like a fucking edgelord kid.
This show came out almost 20 years.
All right, whatever. No, this is 2006. This was 14 years ago.
Yeah.
After 15, you could say almost 20. Anyway, 15 years ago, we'll say. Anyway, the next episode's called The Earth King.
Mm-hmm.
What happens in that?
There's an Earth King.
Oh, yeah. They try to tell the Earth King what's going on, and Longfang keeps saying, no, none of this happened. They're lying to you. Yeah. That's basically it. Oh, yeah. I guess the B plot's probably better.
Oh, sorry. Oh, my God. We totally skipped over the ending of Lake Laokai, though.
Oh, yeah.
So they are like, Appa's not there, and they go up, and then they see Appa has been... freed basically, and they catch him, and Longfang tries to attack, and Appa bites him on the leg and gets thrown into the lake.
Yeah,
and then Zuko and Iroh leave the base. Basically, he drops the blue spirit mask in the water.
Everybody's surrounded, and Appa comes in and pulls a Han Solo, and just like, here to save you, kid. Blah, blah, blah.
In my mind, the thought was Zuko and Iroh freed Appa, and then just left.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much.
They were kind of, and Zuko's like, you know what? I'm done with this shit. And he drops the blue mask and stuff. And you'll see a huge change in his personality in the next episode, basically.
Yep.
Oh yeah, even more so.
2 episodes.
So there's some weird shit that happens. So they escape Laogai, and they're like, we got to go fucking tell the Earth King about all this shit. And then Iroh and Zuko show up at the apartment after the escape, And I was like, you did the right thing by letting the Avatar's bison go free. And Zuko was like, I don't feel right. And then he's like, he just collapses on the floor because I guess when you like become a good person, you like can't like you get hurt.
Well, he's
physically.
not becoming a good person. He's like the two sides are fighting within him.
It's like
and
weird.
it's
Okay,
like,
whatever.
Inside you are two wolves.
That's next episode.
So anyway, he shows up at the Earth King, and Earth King's like, show me some evidence of all this shit you're saying. Because I mean, you know, I got my Dai Li, you've been here forever.
Yep.
And then they lift up Longfang's leg and be like, look at that. That's bison tooth mark on his leg. And then he's like, what? Like, how could you possibly prove that? And then they bring Appa in there, like, look at his teeth. And he's like, I guess, but that still doesn't mean that, like, they're brainwashing people. Maybe they captured your bison. And so then they try to go to Lake Laogai, and they ride the monorail, and the king's like, I've never been out of the upper ring. And it's like, what the fuck, man? As king, I'd be doing whatever the fuck I want. This guy's just got, I mean, he's got Bosco. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, just hang out. Play with your fucking bear.
Like a platypus bear?
Short Dante buck.
So, Iroh's watching Zuko, and he's like, he has like a fever dream, if I remember correctly. Is that what's going on? Yeah. He sees himself as the fucking Fire Lord, basically.
Or as the Avatar sometimes, too.
Yeah. That's true. He has like a lot of crazy dreams. And so then, basically, the fucking Lake Laogai has been collapsed, or the entrance is gone, so they can't figure out a way in there. And they're like, you know what? They've been telling you the war isn't happening. Let's go to the outer wall, because there's no way they could have fucking covered up that drill by now, the giant Fire Nation drill. And so then they go out to the outer walls, and they're like, sure enough, the fucking drill is there. Like, and he's just like, no, it's a construction project with Fire Nation symbols all over it, and it's metal.
Because they're our friends.
And like, yeah, that's true. Because it's like, we worked together. It was a gift, you know. And it's like, no, this is fucking dumb. And so then basically the five, he's like, fine, throw him away. The Dai Li are no longer under his control, and they'll be controlled by the Council of Five, the top generals of the Earth King, basically. And then they start talking about, okay, the generals will get this. We'll get a game plan going together. Sokka tells them about the day when there's going to be, the fucking sun.
The Day of Black Sun.
The Day of Black Sun. And like, let's plan a thing. Cool, we're on it. Also, hey, Guru, this guy called Guru Patik gave you a fucking note. Or no, he gave the note to Appa's horn. And he gets it at that point.
Yeah. And then
because obviously the Dai Li took the note from him when he was captured.
And in that thing, in that box, there was also a letter for Toph from her mother. Saying Toph's mom is in Ba Sing Se and she wants her to come home, or at least to visit.
No, she doesn't want her to come home. They wouldn't, but she wants to see her. And she's like, fine, I'll go talk to my mom, whatever.
Yeah, like she seems cool now, so it's probably going to be cool.
And then Water Tribe people are like, anything for us? Well, we didn't get any letters, but this piece of intelligence might be of use to you. Oh, it's Dad's Water Tribe. We should go see them. So they kind of decide, hey, let's split up for right now. I think the best bet is to split our resources.
Always the best when they split up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing ever goes wrong. But anyway,
see about that. All this stuff's coming from the Dai Li. And then the button at the end of the episode is Longfen in prison. And his guard, who is a Dai Li. And I feel like you probably shouldn't have them guard him. But he's like, hey... We're still loyal to you. Oh,
there's more to it too, because they're like, all right, let's fly out of here. And then the Earth King's like, hey, guess what? I got a word that the Kyoshi warriors will be arriving here. And they're like, awesome, dude. Suki will keep you is awesome. You can trust her. Like, they're great. And they're just like, this is great. And then Toph's like, I'm gonna go meet my mom. You guys have fun flying off. And then Zuko awakes from his nightmares, and like he's.
It's very visual. It's hard to explain, but at the end of it, he kind of feels
he sees himself as the Avatar.
Yeah,
like they're kind of this one and the same. They shouldn't be on different sides. But anyway, the stinger is not only just the fucking people being not or the Daily still being faithful to Long Feng, but you see the painted faced Kyoshi warriors show up, and it's none other than Azula, Ty Lee, and
May of May.
Yes.
May, yes.
And also, Toph gets captured by the wrestlers.
I think that
happens in this episode.
That's next episode.
Okay. I thought that all happened at the end of this episode, like in one big montage of shit going wrong.
No, because we've got the two. Is it the 2-part finale?
No, actually, finale. I don't see it, but I considering the beginning of the next part, I think.
Yeah, that does happen at the end of the episode. Yeah.
Okay, a lot happens.
It's revealed to be a setup to capture by the people. Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, Zuko basically wakes up, and he's like completely seems like a completely different person now. He smiles, and he's like, "I'm happy to work at the tea shop," and all this shit. And you're just like, "Huh, this is like great." Like, all right, maybe he has changed. And then Aang and Sokka land, and they meet the Southern Water Tribe, and they see their dad, or he sees his dad. Qatar didn't come with them, but Aang
someone had to stay back to inform the generals to actually stay with them for the war planning.
Yeah.
So anyway,
meanwhile, Aang is on Dagobah with Yoda.
I know, right? Well, no,
it's just just knowing that Dave Filoni is this huge Star Wars guy, and he went on to do Clone Wars and The Mandalorian. I'm like, this is fucking Empire. This whole finale is Empire.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, the Kyoshi warriors are kind of spying and learning everything about that. And they actually hear about the plans to invade the Fire Nation during the Day of Black Sun. And then you kind of see a little bit of shock on Azula's face, but then she, it's just like, that's interesting. The Council of Five reviews the invasion plan with Kataru, who's with Momo.
Yep.
Momo Momo fucks around on the board, basically.
Yeah.
Which is weird. But then she gets a scroll, and she's going to deliver it to the Earth King to finalize the plan. And then Guru Patik is there.
Yep.
And he's like, drink this banana onion juice. And it makes Aang trip the fuck out. And they're like, basically he has to open his chakra, is what you learn.
Yeah. Which turns out is super easy. Each one takes 2 minutes.
It's like 2 minutes, for each one. It was except for the last one.
Well, I think part of it is because of the spiritual connection that the avatars have.
That's true.
Yeah.
This would take a non-avatar a long time to do, but because he's so connected to the spiritual world, he can just, he's a conduit. You know what I mean? Like, he can just do it easily. Especially probably with the onion banana juice. It probably helps out. So here's the awesome fucking badass thing that happens. Is the Master Yu and Zinfu, who are the two people apparently that captured Toph, are in a huge... Oh, no. Is in a huge metal box, and they're fucking going down the road, and Toph's like, stop arguing, let me use the bathroom, basically, and, whatever. He's like, we're not going to fall for that trick, and then no matter how good of an earthbender you be, you cannot bend metal. And then she begins to focus and starts, feeling the metal. And
the way that this is done is awesome, because it's like she's like struggling with it, and then all of a sudden she's just like, wait, I can see the metal, that means I can bend it.
So one thing that they make clear in Korra, but they try to show you in this scene, is that it's true that that earthbenders can't bend metal. But most metals are alloys and have imperfections. And that's what, when you see the glowing parts of the earth, or the earth inside the metal, as
the little bits of earth.
Yes. So there's impurities. So in Korra, I think they use titanium as a which is a pure, it's just titanium is an element. There's no alloy. And no earthbender can bend a pure alloy. But because basically every other is has coal and whatever to refine it or everything,
rock throughout
it makes pretty much every other type of metal earthbendable for those who are good enough to do it, which I believe in Avatar is top.
Yeah. Awesome. She's
yeah,
kind of a badass.
The other thing too is that like another really fucking Azula is so dastardly. Like basically they like fake getting caught by the Dai Li.
Yeah.
They like basically have Ty Lee and May or just like sit out there talking about how it's bullshit that they're there.
She had already figured out the ins and outs of where the infighting is and who would coup if anything would happen.
Yeah.
So she basically leaves her intelligence open for the Dai Li with the intent of them getting caught.
Yeah,
and then
like because she knows that if she teams up with the Dai Li, eventually it's going to be the two of them, and they'll have to battle for control. So she's playing 4D chess from the start.
Exactly, and she's just like
Donald Trump.
Well, yeah, and she's okay. So just like yeah, I mean, she's amazing. Like she's very smart and a badass, but she's also very evil. So then they basically, Azula proposes a coup to the Dai Li and saying, like, basically, you take over the fucking Earth Kingdom, you know, whatever. The war will keep happening, but we'll just say Ba Sing Se will always be safe. You know what I mean? Like, we're not going to take Ba Sing Se. You know, you can have the city. And they're like, great, that's enough for us. Like, we don't give a shit of anything outside the city. And so then, the fucking Aang's got to go through the 7 chakras. What are the 7
but
chakras? He's
only gone through 7.
Well, okay. What are the 8 chakras? There are 7 chakras within the body.
There's crunchy, chewy, salty, and sweet.
Yeah, so there's a lot of fucking shit. He just like goes through his like past and his flashbacks and doing fucking shit, and it's like
it's like your standard like pseudo Buddhist stuff.
Yeah, it's just like you basically have to like give up your. It's just like becoming a monk. You know, it's like give up all of your connections to the material world. Basically,
well, that's the last part of it, but a lot of it is like this thing is opened up by this, but then blocked by shame or blocked by guilt and whatnot. So goes through and just accepts things as they are, and then in order to do the last step, because he's opened up these chakras so he can connect with the avatar state and be able to control it and turn it on and off at will, as well as maintain consciousness while in it. The last step ends up being the last chakra is for a pure cosmic energy, and what blocks it is any connection to the material world, and that includes his connections to the people he cares about and loves. And Katara is definitely the core of that. Yeah,
because basically the Avatar is supposed to be like a human spirit world connection, and so they can't, to be a proper conduit between the two worlds and to keep balance, he can't have any connection to one person because that completely ruins it, basically.
And this is the part where, just like Empire, Luke decides that his friends are more important than finishing a train.
It's like I can feel them they're in trouble, and I have to go find my ex.
So, there's a little thing where Sokka's dad is basically exactly like him, and he has like skunkfish bombs that they throw, and he calls them the Stink and Sink.
Although I will say that Guru Patik did not, like Yoda, say you'll never become. You just like, you should really stay.
Well, he does say something like you're gonna lose access to the Avatar state at all if you don't unblock that.
Right.
If you don't,
which honestly I think was just setting him up for the finale.
Yeah. So anyway, Jasmine Dragon opens, and that's Iroh and Zuko's new Proud Chop, and they're both happy and proud, and that's it. So it's awesome. Anyway. And so, we already talked about the Dai Li and him losing his ability to do that. Patik. Okay, and then basically, I think Katara figures it out.
Well, that's when Momo fucks off. Like he's on her shoulders, and she's walking into the throne room, and the guard, whatever, are there. But he's just like, nope, fuck, I'm out. just like as she realizes that this isn't her friends, these are people in disguise.
Yep.
Oh yeah, there's a lot. Okay, yeah, that's the next episode that happens.
Yep.
So yeah, he basically can't go full Avatar because he keeps thinking of Katara, and he's like, I got to go save her because something's obviously wrong. Master Yu and Zinfu hear an explosion from the back of their wagon and find out Toph had just metal bent basically and escaped. She figured it out and traps them in there. The one guy's like, I gotta go to the bathroom. You're like, oh, just imagine being trapped. But anyway, she like fucking explodes the earth and surfs along the earth back. He's just like headed back to Ba Sing Se.
So I'm the greatest earthbender in the world.
And then
Toph is fucking cool.
Yeah,
this was the episode that made it so that Toph was my favorite character.
Yeah, I mean she's bad
in the entire team of good guys.
But then she becomes a cop, so
yeah, that sucks. But
anyway, that's a spoiler for a future series. But Sokka is like, I'm with my dad. This is great, and I'll help out with the attack. But then he sees Aang and Appa fly by, and he's like, I better go with them. Like,
yep.
And then of course the Dai Li have Azula and Long Feng, or Azula captured, and they bring him to Long Feng, and she basically gives them their plan. And I love the part 2. And then I think it's in the next episode when she.
I think so. Yeah.
The whole plan too, and just the amount of terror that she can put into people.
Yeah, yeah, because not long after she started like kind of guiding the Dai Li, they get to the point where Long Feng and the Dai Li come to confront her. That's near the beginning of this last episode.
Yeah,
and Long Feng commands them to attack Azula, and they just stop.
Yeah.
And
like, so
what?
Like, basically, there's never a time where she's like, "Hey, I'm gonna take you guys over. I'm gonna like rebel." They're just like through sheer like terrifying presence. They're like, "I'm gonna wait and see where this goes."
When he's still in prison, one of the guards is like, he asks like, "How's it going with Azula and everything?" And guard's like, "Yeah, she's like been taking charge. She's kind of like." Scary, but in a very inspiring way.
Yeah. So basically, everybody. This is like where everybody fucking meets at the exact same location all at once.
Yep.
So Azula, who gives the speech and terrifies all of them. Fucking Toph is on their way back. Sokka and Aang are on their way back, and then Iroh and Zuko have been told that the king himself wants them to have their famous tea. So they're headed to the fucking, king's place, basically. And then basically the Dai Li agents surround Iroh and Zuko, and it's like, hey, this is Azula. They're already taking her. And then he calmly asked Azula if she ever heard why he called him the Dragon of the West.
This is the best shot in the show.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he just basically just breathes fire on everyone. And they try and escape, basically. And he's captured, and they're both captured and arrested.
Well, like Zuko goes back to try and fight and is immediately captured.
Yeah. He's like, let's do an Agni Kai, you and me, Azula. And she's like, no, just take him to prison. Like, I don't care. Which is such
that's a very, like, Zuko move, because he's like, so damaged by the Agni Kai that his dad did with him. He's like, I will fucking fight you.
Iroh doesn't get arrested, though, because Iroh ends up asking for the Avatar's help.
Yeah, he gets away.
Yeah. That's true, because Zuko goes back. And so anyway, the gang finally arrives at the palace and confronts the Earth King. And he's like, nothing's wrong. Katara just went to go talk to the Kyoshi warriors. And she already met with the Council of Five. It's fine. And so then they go to the empty apartment, and then of course it's Iroh, and he's like, "Fuck, dude."
Well, they get to the apartment first. Then Iroh comes there, and then because I know Toph says that, "Oh, this is an old friend of mine."
Yeah,
because she hears she knows his footsteps. Because they had tea together, 12 episodes back.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sorry, this is back. This happened in the last episode. Katara was captured by May and Ty Lee, and thrown in prison. And so then when they show up and it's empty, they're like, "Why is Katara not here?" Because she was already captured in the last episode. And then Zuko and Katara are basically both in the same crystal lit cave, and they fucking have their. Yep, that's the bang. My wife said, "Is this their bang cave?"
Yeah.
And I was like, not really.
I mean, there's no fire or water in there, so what else are you gonna do?
There is chemistry, though.
Yeah. But then Zuko basically apologizes because he's kind of changed a little bit.
Yeah.
And he's just like,
for the next 20 minutes.
We both, yeah, I know. They both lost their parents to the war, their mom to the war.
Yeah.
There's not that much different. There's basically a lot going on right now because I think this is when the Dai Li capture all the generals basically and the coup is beginning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
While they're all out there.
So,
they're like they're basically just too late because then they show up to get to the Earth King to like tell him about the coup, and Azula is just there already.
Well, there's I think the four of them split up beforehand because I think it's Toph and Sokka that go to confront the Earth King about the coup, and then Iroh and Aang are actually going to the prison. Aang using earthbending to get down,
and Iroh lighting the way.
Yeah, there's actually some really cool shit too that happens here too because Iroh kind of gives Aang a couple, lessons here because he says, he doubts his abilities because he's not going to be able to use the Avatar state, because the Guru said that he'll never do that if he is connected to the, the real world. And Iroh's like, actually, you made a wise choice to choose happiness and love over power and perfection, which are both overrated. Because Iroh's kind of like, and this is kind of a seed of what happens, I think, in Korra as well. And this is that, like, there's the Avatar is meant to be a god, but also they're a person. You know what I mean? Like, it's, you can't always be perfection, and like, that's kind of the whole point, I think.
They may have the powers of the god, but at the end of the day, they're just a guide.
Yeah,
and they have to take care of themselves as much as they take care of the world.
Exactly. So it's kind of that duality that's interesting.
But anyway, Jedi shuns all attachments, but that ends up being their downfall.
Mm-hmm. Ty Lee flirts with Sokka.
That's not the first time.
But he's like, I'm with Suki, which is interesting because they never mentioned what happened to them. They obviously were like defeated and had their makeup stolen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's possible, Spanky.
Spanky.
Yeah.
I mean, we're getting into fan fiction territory now.
Scissoring. So anyway,
considering is a real thing that happened.
Scissor me timbers. Anyway, it just reminds me of that South Park episode where.
Yeah, if I wanted to feel grindy pubic bone on grindy pubic bone, I would just rub my head against the wall. It's the same thing.
Okay.
It's mechanics. It's fine.
Anyway, let's not worry about that. Let's change the subject.
Okay.
So anyway, the throne. Yeah, she fucking. Azul's already got the Earth King hostage. The fucking coup is already over. Then Long Fang shows up and is like, Dai Li, arrest her. And they're like, fuck no. Like, she is way more powerful than you.
Yeah, and that's her big speech is talking about, how you were born out of nothing and kind of grew into this. I was born
right to rule.
Yeah. Yeah. She's big about birthrights.
Yeah.
And I love that there's not like a fight or anything. It's just like, you're beaten.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I am.
And he just submits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's the only thing he can do. That's the only survival option he has, and he's a survivor.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so back to the bag cave.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
She's basically like, I got this special water that could heal your scar, basically. And then he's just like, the scar symbolizes banishment and all this stuff. And she's like, well, you can get rid of it.
Yeah. Yeah, Spanky, it is Avatar the Horny Bender here. We get it.
And then basically it. But I mean, fucking Zuko. It's Zuko and May. But anyway,
yeah.
At least in May's eyes, she's always horning over Zuko.
That's true.
Or what does Azula call him?
Zuzu.
Zuzu, yeah.
No, that's it. So basically, they burst in to the prison, Aang and Iroh, and they're like, "Hey, awesome!" And then
we're
Zuko's
here to save
really
you.
confused. And Aang hugs Katara, and Iroh hugs Zuko.
Yeah, just like maybe just like partially I missed you, and also partially let's keep these two apart.
Yeah.
And at this point, Zuko does get kind of the stank eye at Mr. Avatar again, but it seems like he's okay with it right now.
Mm-hmm.
At least right now. How does the Azula stuff come into play here then?
Well, so
because we're still in the bang cave.
Iroh's like, you should choose the path of good.
Yeah. Like Azula shows up in the Bang Cave.
Oh yeah, so Avatar and so Aang and Katara go off to help Sokka and Toph. So they leave the Bang Cave. And then Iroh's like, you're a different man. You're stronger and wiser than ever before. You should be a good guy. But before he can reply, a massive crystal springs up and immobilizes Iroh. And it's the Dai Li agents are there. And Azula is with them. So basically, I think that after they captured everything, she came down to go finally, say what's up to her brother, and then it's like, haha. And then they have a big battle, basically.
Yep, they start fighting, and the battles overlap.
Yeah. And so Zuko, she's basically like, join me,
Come to the dark side.
Yeah, literally. I mean, this is Empire.
But what about my honor? Your father will give you your honor. We'll welcome you back in, with a full whatever. Join me. And he does. He fucking does.
She walks away and he's considering his options, basically.
Zuko's such a fucking cock tease for like a character arc.
That's what my wife.
I know.
My wife was like, Zuko's going to be the one that teaches Aang firebending, isn't he? And it's like, well, just watch the rest of this episode.
That's what I thought was going to happen, like from the beginning of season 1.
It's a bit more complicated than that. So,
I mean, like 4 episodes of saying Zuko is becoming a good person and he's eschewing the ways that he grew up, and then at the end, in a turn of like, hey, your sister's here, by the way. Do you want to be evil again? And he's like, yeah, I want to be evil again. I want to throw all the character work that I did over the past few episodes into the fucking trash.
There's still character development to happen, but
there's like, 1 season of character development.
It's realistic that he would be like waffling back and forth. Like he wouldn't just flip a switch and be like, I'm good now. But it is frustrating.
I get that, but like the thing that's frustrating about the way they decided to do this was to have him be so close to Iroh and to like knowingly destroy Iroh, like know that Iroh has a great life, pretty much the life that he wanted ever since his son died, and to just tear that away from him because maybe he could be evil again. That seems pretty fucked up to me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, they basically, Zuko shows up. I like the line, too, where he's like, Katara's like, I thought you changed. And he's like, I have changed to be evil now. I flip-flopped back again from a minute ago. It's like, okay. But anyway, the fight continues. The big old battle. It's really cool in the fucking Crystal Cave. But they're basically
completely overwhelmed by Dai Li as well as Zuko and Azula. You've got I don't know what happened to Sokka, but at this point you've got like Katara, who's being surrounded by 8 Dai Li. You've got like a whole squadron of Dai Li as well as.
I actually really like this too because it is so Empire because. Aang's like, finally, I can let go and do the Avatar state. He's like, everything looks dire.
Yeah.
And he starts like, you see him open that chakra like in his mind, and he's like, and then he starts glowing blue, and then what happens?
He comes up out of his little tent he made.
Cuts off his hand.
Yeah.
It turns out Azula was his father.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Azula, I can't remember. I think she just like electrocutes him.
She just nails him with a bolt of lightning.
Yeah, she force lightnings his back, completely messing with his chakras.
Yeah.
And
oh god, I didn't even think of that. She has fucking Palpatine powers.
Yeah,
yes, she does.
He basically just collapses, and then they like run away because I think maybe Iroh like keeps fighting or something. I don't know.
Yeah, Iroh jumps in, he starts fighting, and he's able to get him enough. Like
take him.
Yeah, he's captured, and Sokka, Toph, Katara, and Aang.
And we all remember, if you die in the Avatar state, you die in real life.
Yep. So they escape on Appa out of the city,
and fortunately,
with the Earth King.
Yeah,
is with them. Because and Bosco. I forgot
Bosco's there too. Yeah.
Oh right.
And so then they basically are like the Earth Kingdom has fallen because it's over. You know, like fucking. Anyway. But
Katara has magic water, so she brings Aang back to life.
Yeah. Well, I don't.
Remind me when we start doing Korra. There's a very important scene in Korra, and I want to call back to this moment, and I'm sure I'll remember it. But I want to make sure I call back to this moment in Avatar, because when Korra gets killed by Palpatine. And in her and she doesn't have a last name, but then at the end of the episode 9, she's a Skywalker because she's on Tatooine. It's very weird because she got kissed by a Skywalker and got brought back to life.
Yeah,
and yeah. I thought I was gonna have a joke with that, but I didn't. So
I think the joke is just the rise of Skywalker, the whole movie.
But no, I think the better Korra arc, and we'll get to this later, is when she dies and then revives herself for 3 years as Mike Tyson.
I don't know what you're referencing.
It's fine.
Not either.
It's fine.
Mike Tyson.
So, Matt, good news. Korra is actually coming to Netflix next month.
So
we don't have to seek it out.
We got somebody at Netflix that listens to the podcast because they're like, oh shit, they're going to run out of Avatar pretty soon. We got to get some Korra up in that shit.
So I know you haven't seen any of the next season, but okay, first season was water, second season was earth, third season was fire. Where do you think third season takes place?
The sun. They have to kill the sun.
Well, that was the plan.
Dude, it's easy. They just have to go back to the North Pole and get whatever fish represents the sun and, like, you know.
No, not every spirit has a mortal form.
Every spirit is a fish, Island. TJ. Haven't you been paying attention to Witch TikTok?
Yeah. Came it full circle.
Yeah.
So... I think the other really interesting thing about the next season, because coming up is, I think it's really the next season's awesome.
Yes,
it is the best part of the show, in my opinion. I mean, I love the stuff at Earth Kingdom, but
will there be Ewoks?
No,
I will say this too.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, the thing I'll tell you is the Day of the Dark Sun or whatever, the Black Sun, that is halfway through the last season.
Yes.
Really?
That is not the end of the show.
Okay.
There is a lot.
And more importantly,
like, it's not. Well, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to ask. It's not like Game of Thrones where they like blow their epic battle at the beginning of the last season. And it's all kind of just peters out after that.
Okay, the thing about the last season is fuck character progression. That's not important. Fuck superpowers. That's not important. Fuck bending. The things that is important is number 1, hair, and number 2, a sick ass headband.
Okay,
that's the best part of season 3, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
And I also like the Ember Island players.
Yes, that is the best clip show, and it's not a clip show.
Shout out to Ember Island.
There's also the Fire Festival, which takes place on Fire Island.
Yeah. And they just have like white bread
but
and
it's a real
American
shit
cheese.
show, and then Hulu has to make a documentary about it.
So the final episodes 2 of next season are a 4-parter, and we mentioned the day of Black Night or whatever, Dark Night, Dark Knight Rises.
Dark Knight Rises. Yep.
What also is happening this year, next year or whatever, later in the year? Sozin's comet is arriving, giving the Fire Nation ultimate power.
Oh shit!
And so
I forgot about that dang comet.
Exactly. Yes. So the comet is also going to happen next season, and I also want to point this out. Yes, firebending becomes super powerful, but we also know a good guy who can firebend.
Yeah, it's Zuko.
Aang. No, it's Aang.
Oh, right.
Aang's the Avatar.
He's the Avatar. He can firebend. So it's like, all right.
No, see, the thing about... And I'm going to go ahead and
Iroh.
spoil this because it's not that big of a deal.
It's Iroh.
Azula was lying to Zuko when she said that they let him back. So, like, at the very beginning, like the first 10, 15 seconds...
No way.
Of season 3, Zuko just comes back and like, no, we were fucking lying to you. They just kill him and he's dead. They just... More Zuko.
Remember when he said Azula always lies?
Yeah.
But except for she doesn't always lie, so I'm going to join her.
Okay. Well, here's the thing.
Zuko's not a smart man, okay? We all know this.
He's a dumb teen.
Remember
He's
how
young, dumb, and full of firebending.
so you know how Azula always lies?
Though, that I think that the Avatar state is kind of like a penis, and like, so like when you wake up with morning wood, you can't go pee in the toilet because you can't get the angles right. So I think that's the toilet.
yeah, you
and,
can do it.
or
You
maybe
can
the
do it.
penis.
You just gotta like point downward.
Stand on your head.
Is like
Lean forward.
But it's like he keeps thinking of Katara, from
Katniss Everdeen.
Katara,
Cachadora. Gotcha.
Adora.
and he keeps fucking getting boners, so he can't go to the Avatar state. So it seems like
Okay, but can you fuck in the Avatar state?
I would.
well, no, it seems like what's happening is that he is a Chad Thundercock, and like he mistreats Katara, but Zuko is the nice guy who wouldn't cheat on her, and he's getting fucking friend zoned in the Fire Nation.
No, I can already tell exactly what's going to happen. This is going to go full Heaven's Gate. Aang's going to realize he has to castrate himself. They're going to get some Nikes and some purple shawls, and they're all going to kill themselves to get behind that comet that's coming. And then their website's not going to change for the rest of time.
So Azula always lies. They forgot the rest of it. It's Azula always lies on her back because this is all Avatar horny bender. And
Bender.
the real question is who's getting with Azula? Because we haven't seen anyone who's going to get with Azula.
The bear.
Unless we're...
Bosco. It's Bosco.
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 It's the only one that can handle all that woman.
I don't know. She's into birthrights. I think she'd be into like incest. That sounds like the Azula way.
I feel
very
like
Lannistery.
we can't have the bear fuck the female.
No, she fucks the bear.
Oh, that's right.
No.
She
I'm
pegs
just
the bear.
saying, we need to have the gay stereotype bear joke in the fucking chamber because we're not very funny on this podcast.
I don't know
so
why you need to like big bears can fuck anyone they want to.
Like reading about. I'm just
I don't
reading
know.
I'm reading the plot of all the seasons of Korra, and the plot to me feels like the plot of the post Star Wars books that were done, the extended universe books of the search for the Jedi, like where they rebuild the Jedi Order. Anyway, I'm just like,
oh yeah, those Jedi Academy book series. I read those.
I don't know. Korra herself is 10 times hornier than all the
Korra's
horny
also like
in
teen,
Avatar.
A horny teen.
I getcha.
Why do we spend so much time talking about horny
She has
teens?
she has a polar bear dog.
Yep, she does. That's true.
And Bolin has the best pet.
Oh, that's
A fire ferret named Pabu.
Pabu is the best character.
Yeah. Sorry.
He does
right.
tricks. He's a mascot.
I know.
Like I know that they're trying to mirror trying to mirror Appa and Momo with whatever the fucking dog's name is and Pabu. But man, Pabu does all the heavy lifting in Korra, and I know you're the fucking dog.
Love the fucking like awesome like bending sport that exists in
Quidditch?
Korra. Yeah, it's like bending Quidditch.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's not talk about Korra too much, but we will be able to watch that in August. It sounds like so.
Yep.
Probably by the time we get done with season 3 of Avatar. So.
I mean, that's assuming the society hasn't fully collapsed.
That's true. Well, we got to 2022 according to Ubisoft or whatever.
Now we got 21 episodes this season. I think we go 5, 5, 6, and then
is there like a mid-season, like a big event one? We need to make sure that lines up.
Oh yeah, we definitely want to make sure that. Well, we'll look into it.
Okay.
Yep. I'll take a peek. But
first 5.
We'll discuss later.
I'm sure the first 5 are fine.
Yeah. Check our Discord for updates.
I skipped ahead and read along what happens in the next season. I'm remembering it all now. Episode. It looks like the 2-parter is 51. And it'll be weird. I think we might need to do 6.
Wait,
there's the 2-parter that's episode 50 and 51.
Okay, so 5, 6, 5, 5.
Yeah. Thank you. You can find me on Twitter, John_Danger.
I'm at May of May at mastodon.cloud, but you can also find me on twitch.tv/May of May. Go ahead and give me some bits, and I will give you some fatherly comfort and advice because I am proud of you.
Oh, the 5th episode of the Avatar season 3 is the beach. Remember the beach?
Oh, yep.
Oh, that hornier out DiCaprio.
You want a horny episode? We'll get a horny episode.
You can find me at Matt Haig Music everywhere. MATTAJAGMUSIC.
What about Spanky?
You can find me at soundcloud.com. I'm a rapper now.
Okay.
Where are you getting your face tattooed?
You can go listen to my mixtape.
Goodbye, everyone.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
All right, let me just run 9 more ads while I got these 5 viewers.
He's just like gooching the numbers here. God damn it! Just drop the fucking heart of a car. Somebody. I fucking hate the goddamn World Buff meta. One thing I'm really looking forward to in Burning Crusade is this getting rid of that.
We can't start talking about WoW.
It
will bleed over. It will bleed over.
It won't bleed over. I'm gonna end it here. The problem with Burning Crusade, though, is that it will kill our guild. So
why? Just because it's like harder raids or what?
No, because the raid size changes from 40 to 25. So good luck getting a spot, or we'll split into 2 guilds.
Well, why wouldn't we just have 2 raids in the same guild?
We could do that, but then there's the A team and the B team, and people have resentment, and then it falls apart.
I guess.
No, it's the A team and the 1 team.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I guess I just don't. I don't give a shit if I'm on the B team or whatever.
Neither do I. I mean, as long as you're clearing content.
What they'd probably do is just do like different days, and then
roll for slots. Whether they're the A or the 1.
Karazhan is a 10-man, so that also splits things up.
A 10-person, John.
Okay.
Be woke.
What if no? You have to be a male character to enter that instance. Like it doesn't matter who's playing; it's the gender of your character. But it is the gender of your character. So I guess if you started as a gnome who is the sex was male, but you want to become transgender, you're allowed.
I think we're getting to a really slippery slope here.
No, it's true.
Wait a minute. What if they were just assigned female like character creation or AFAC as like?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that if you do the random button, you're assigned a gender, and that may not be who you are, and so you're allowed to have a sex change.
And really, aren't we all just random characters assigned at birth?
You don't want to talk about it.
Makes you think.
No, I don't want to think.
Hey, somebody needs help with Bag Thera. Remember that? Hey, this guy is asking for help with blood scalp tusks. Remember that, Spanky?
God, how?
Fuck it. World of Warcraft class.
It must be.
It's bad.
I can't even imagine trying to find Stranglethorn groups now. Like, you can't even find stuff for instances because everybody's just boosting.
Oh no, you can find boost groups for instances.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when I was trying to level the mage, I was like, I want to do actual group stuff, a game that you play with people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's completely bullshit now. So looking for group, it's almost all people selling runs. This guy says selling ZG runs, 16 XP per hour. This guy says wanting to sell Mara, 1 pull free for all loot, 10 gold per run.
It's just dumb because it's instead of playing a game and spending your time that way, you have to spend time earning gold to pay for a run.
Yeah. Well, part of it is just the way Classic dropped. You've got a bunch of people who are who came in all at once, and then really it's just people leveling alts more than anything else. You're not talking about any surge of new players.
Yeah.
So people who actually want that experience already did with their main.
Yeah, so that's something that is different than in the way that Classic used to be, is that they used to open fresh servers, periodically. And for instance, on Greymage, a server that I joined, it opened in 2005 in I think August, and that's when I started playing. It was a new server because that's when I started playing, and so everyone was kind of leveling at the same time. And then, but there were guilds that basically just decided to re-roll on that server and from another guild and just start from 0 and level up to 60 and play on that server because that was just what they wanted to do. You can't really do that here because there's no new servers anymore.
Yeah.
Everything's old.
I guess I'll look forward to playing fun leveling groups whenever they raise the
Burning
cap
Crusade
or whatever.
Yep.
I'll have to wait for expansions for each thing.
Well, and the other problem is that the way that World of Warcraft Classic is built is that it's just such an end game focused game.
Yeah.
That it's you just want to get your character to 60 basically. I mean, I'm just looking for group. It is literally all just people asking. This guy's saying Mara boosts free. You get your first run free. It's just this is insane. Here's another person saying any GDKP needing a tank carry. It's a different game now.
It is.
I mean,
capitalism has taken over, John.
Yeah, it isn't if you have if you're in a raiding guild, then you just raid in that guild. But if you're someone who's not in a core group of people, you're just kind of trying to level up has got to be a nightmare, which sucks because it was so much fun. Spanky, remember that? Playing instances, running that Wailing Caverns with that group and stuff. It was just
Tondorcha.
Yeah,
Tondorcha.
I mean, you can still have that questing in the open world and have fun, but the instances are done until you get to 60, and then you can't really boost past Maradon. That's the last, and ZG actually can be boosted too. So
yeah, I've seen that a lot, but I don't know how people do that.
Do what?
They just do trash mobs?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so is it an XP boost too, or mainly rep?
It's experience, and you get rep too, but it's mostly experience that they're looking at. Oh my god! But this guy here is selling a Mara boost. He says 300 plus mobs, 15-minute runs, 15 gold, epics reserve, 2 spots, can summon. And then now I'm looking up how to farm gold. Do someone know how to farm gold? And everyone's oh, just sell runs on your mage. And I'm that's not. What? Not everyone can do that. There's gonna be too many people doing it. And then I watched this other guide where this guy, I was it was oh my god, this is when it broke me, because this guy was all right, because I've been trying to level my mage, and I was all right, how can I level my mage the most efficiently? And the guy's all right, here's how you level your mage: get to level 14 as fast as you can, whatever, and then once you get to 14, buy Shadowfang keep runs. And I was like, what? He's like, it's going to be expensive, but it'll be worth it when you get to level 60. I'm like, I'm not fucking buying leveling. Like, that's your guide, is to buy levels? Oh, that pissed me off. I was like, I don't have to fucking watch a YouTube tutorial on how to buy fucking levels.
First, cook pizza, you get into your vehicle, you drive to fucking Papa John's. Then you order pizza. You have now cooked pizza with your money.
I know. And so I was like, no, what I wanted to know was, like, where are the good grinding spots for AoE grinding? I mean, I guess I could ask Matt. Did you do that to level?
Yeah. So here's the thing. Anything out in the world sucks. What is happening? Stop loading random layers. Anything out in the world sucks and is crowded as shit.
Yeah. I've seen that.
So once you basically just have to get to Zul'Farrak and then do it like instance shit.
Yeah. Because then you can just do instance grinding.
Yeah. But now, so like end game, if I was going to use this mage that I leveled to try and make money easier, like I'm supposed to do the fields and stuff in the Plague Lands, but that's always crowded and very slow. I could go back to Zul'Farrak and do that, but that's like level 40 something.
Yeah, but you can get good shit from there.
Yeah.
Like, good shit drops.
Welcome to Born in the 80s, episode 402. I'm your guest host, as always, Spanky Danger Work.
Wow, Spanky,
joined by always with my co-host.
So robot-y.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Spanky is very... Does your internet work out there in the boonies?
No.
What's
okay,
your
so
down speed? Spanky? Oh, he's leaving.
He's checking, I guess.
Because this is really shitty.
I thought it was my end.
I'm opening the door. I'm opening the door to let some internet in.
Oh, hey, we should probably switch to the actual stream channel.
Whatever.
You don't want random people just coming in?
If we want a special guest to join in the midst of this, I don't care. Oh, fine.
All right.
There's a thing that just lets you jump. Where's the thing for that? You right click.
Gets here. Oh, we'll talk about Matt.
That's fine. I don't give a shit.
Oh, we weren't talking about you or anything.
Oh, I just realized.
I learned that I have to open my door to let the internet in because my house was built in the 80s. Whoa, my house was built in the 80s. I could be on the podcast for real.
Born in the 80s.
So I just realized that our setup here with where we are located, how I'm always here at the bottom left, we're just alphabetical.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's
John, Matt, May, and Spanky.
That's
it's good. It's good because about the last 4 or 5 episodes, I've been listening to John by staring up at his square, and listening to Matt by staring up at his square, and listening to Spanky by staring in the middle distance.
Spanky, I fixed the bottom bar. That about your Snapchat, I fixed it.
I was wondering why TJ sounded so loud on my Discord. It's because I had TJ set at like 127.
Well, yeah, because I was quiet before.
Yeah, because you were quiet before. I was like, why is he peaking so much? And then when I listened to the Twitch, it sounds fine.
Okay.
I understand it now. There's not been a second heart dropped. I'm gonna fucking kill myself to get this buff. All right, we'll start. Uh-oh. Someone just whispered me.
For what?
Come to Alley FP, show you a trick, says Boomacane. What is that? I can't read that.
I know. I was trying to. It's too small to read. It's a job listing that one of my coworkers sent me that says, minimum 12 plus years experience in Kubernetes. Kubernetes is a piece of software and I don't know if you can. Once this white balances, you can read that. But the release date of Kubernetes was 2014. So the maximum amount of years anyone could have with Kubernetes is 6, and it says it requires 12.
Well, that's all the shit I keep seeing on r/recruiting hell. Because they want you to have 10 years experience in a web tool that's only been around for 8.
Yeah, and of course, like, entry-level internship unpaid, must have 15 years experience and references in the industry.
Don't you just love capitalism?
Yeah! Dude,
All right.
whoever invented the unpaid internship is hopefully burning in hell.
Uh-huh.
I stabbed him in the dick 5 times.
I think it was slave owners.
I mean, I didn't want to equate the two, because I feel like slavery also had a lot of other very bad stuff that you don't have to deal with.
They were interned. They were literally interned, and they weren't paid.
Is that what? Wait, interned. Does that mean like held captive?
You mean like an internment camp?
Yes, internmentship.
Wow. It really just is like on his face evil.
Yeah.
Come be our intern. Be intern.
Unpaid internmentship is literally slavery, but you're allowed to leave. That's it.
To be fair, the Nazis were socialists, so that's worse.
Oh.
Okay, at real_Lance_man.
Oh man, dude. Just,
Any gems from him lately?
there is a couple. I mean, it's just like he's like such a parody of like a bad internet person, because he's just like will just like get the one person who is agreeing with him. Does that make sense?
There's like one person that always
well, it's just like so, like, you know, like how Diamond and Silk exist, and it's like, well, there's the one black guy that supports Trump is saying this bullshit, and that's all black people, so it's not that bad. And it's
his latest from 12 minutes ago was commenting on a tweet or a photo of Brett Favre golfing with Trump today.
What's wild is that like he went for the full thing. Like, it wasn't just that he like went for super capitalist or whatever, but he was also like, also I love police now and law and order, and like
QAnon.
That, like, he was the opposite of all of that years ago, and I can't believe that like literally everything flipped.
He's just a bootlicker QAnon conspiracy theorist.
Does he do QAnon stuff?
I'm sure, dude.
He has been playing the Wii U lately, so if that tells you anything.
He was like talking to about how like the Switch is bullshit, you know, and it's not because he can't get one, you know. It's because
it's bullshit. Yeah.
I
mean, you can get one. I am proof that you can get one. It's annoying.
Well, he can't get one because I don't think financially that it's possible.
I definitely thought that I was enjoying it, but I guess I wasn't.
I'm trying to make this jump now because I've got this guy, this boomkin, who's like Sherpaing me through jumping all around on the rooftops of Booty Bay because he saw me just
test. Okay.
Fuck!
Wow.
Sorry, I just keep fucking up this jump.
Yeah, you do.
And it's pissing me off.
Hey, John, you should listen to the stream and see. I had to adjust my voice and see if it still sounds good.
Okay.
I guess he... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I had to turn it down on my interface because it was clipping, but I tried to compensate in the software, so hopefully it's the same-ish volume.
So here's his gem from this week, 2 days ago. If your job is to retrieve or move a ball somewhere, I don't want to hear your politics, stupid.
Yeah.
Stick to sports.
Yeah. You know, like... And you know what? People shouldn't be allowed to vote if they're like certain
he said
jobs
he said if your job is to move a ball around, I don't want to hear politics. 15 minutes ago.
I know.
Cool thing Favre done. Doing a good for a long time. Good for him. Oh, so if Brett Favre golfs with Trump, hell yeah, politics. If literally the rest of the NFL says, please stop killing black people, fuck you, I don't hear your politics.
Yeah. Yeah, he just doesn't want to hear politics he disagrees with. And he's too dumb to know that's what he really means.
Should I unfollow him yet?
No, I mean I have already. But...
I know. I see that. The only mutual I've got with him is
Matt.
No, I
Adam.
unfollowed him a long time ago.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I unfollowed like everybody except for you and TJ, and I think the podcast.
If we all just accept a medical surveillance state, we can get back to normal. How is fucking wearing a piece of fabric on your face in the grocery store surveillance? How? How is that
he talking
surveillance?
about like contact tracing apps and stuff?
No.
Be.
It is a picture of a guy wearing a face mask.
So he's just
and that's all it
conflating
is.
two things. Because, like, yeah. Like, the South Korea style contact tracing that would never fly in America because there's too much government tracking, blah, blah, blah.
But they're already, like, those apps don't do anything your phone isn't already doing. It just gives it to the government. The government could also just say, hey, Google, we'll give you a fuck ton of money and like a defense contractor deal so that you can kill a bunch of brown people if you give us that data, and then they could have it anyway.
Yeah, everything's fucked. I mostly just rely on the idea that nobody will give a shit what I'm doing. Like, the government doesn't care. But that's temporary solution.
We should probably start recording.
We should overthrow the government, you guys.
Yeah, maybe. I'd be for it.
Let's do it.
All right,
Oh
here we
no,
go.
that's illegal to say that. What we should say is, man, wouldn't it be weird if somebody overthrew the government? Wink, 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 wink.
Oh, it'd be weird.
Are we ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.